Good morning, everybody. It's 8:40 Monday morning. I'm so excited. It's going to be an awesome week. We have an awesome show today. Share this video out if you're watching on Facebook. Let us know in the comments what you're up to today. See that Curt is staring at the baseball bat, but this right here is an authentic, genuine KHEA Radio 99.5 FM, number one radio station, Louisville Slugger, straight from the factory.
Yeah, it's kind of concerning for me to be here while you're like threatening to.
I'm not threatening.
Oh, okay. As long as you're not threatening.
Dude, it's Shark Week. You got to be prepared. Like, if a shark comes and attacks me out of the TV, if I'm watching, I have to be able to defend myself.
Right.
I love sharks, though.
It's Shark
I'm not going to
Week.
hit a shark with this.
It's scary. That could be like Sharknado number like 4 or whatever they're on now. You know, like in the KHEA radio studio, where only one Louisville Slugger.
Dude.
Can you show off the lettering on there? Because I think that's pretty cool. I think that's dope.
It's slick. It's black with some gold lettering. I actually went and checked out the Louisville Slugger Museum whenever I was in Kentucky the other day, and they have a really cool process. They make them. They get the wood from like Ohio or something like. Or no, it was Pennsylvania. Like all these forests and stuff, and then they like every tree that they cut down, they plant like 10. So it's really interesting place. They've been doing it there since like the 1800s. But this is an awesome bat.
It says number one radio station, which I have to agree.
Easy.
In the world, number one radio station. So I agree.
Number one in your hearts as well. And maybe not on your dial yet.
Number 6 on my program dial.
But we'll take it if you just download the KHEA radio app. We've had a lot of people download the app, and we're excited. So keep downloading it. Share it with your friends. You can actually go from the app, I think, and even like text it to everybody.
Yeah, you can. You can actually share that out. You can do it online as well.
Hey, we had a cool event yesterday. A lot of our friends came out.
Yeah, we had a vendor market, and that was for like Escape KHEA was here. April's Rustic Living was here. Yeah, everybody was here.
Yeah, so shout out to all our friends who came out. Shout out to everybody that even said that they're going to come back to the Talk of Taco Cook-Off. We got 8 seconds. Do you want to go on the FM?
Yeah, that would be great.
My mouse is over. I may not make it. I missed it. So now we got 20 seconds, and we're going to go on the FM. Check out some of the spots.
Live from the campus.
That's my wife.
Live in Lamarck, Texas. If you're in.
That's my wife. All right. So, yeah, we got 10 seconds, and we're going to go on and see if we can get our stream working properly today. Here we go.
Meet you and worship the Lord together.
Good morning. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy.
And I'm Curt.
It is 8:43 on a Monday morning. TGIM. We have an exciting show lined up for you today. So share this out. Call a friend. Tell them to tune in to Kickstart. Maybe download the KHEA Radio app. We have some positivity we are spreading in the community starting right now.
Yeah, there's a lot that's going on. I mean, this week is going to be an awesome week. I feel like Shark Week means that this week is going to be above and beyond what everyone thought it would be. I mean, I think KHEA Radio is going to attack like a shark.
Attack who?
Attack.
Negativity.
Negativity.
We're like a shark, and we're going to attack negativity. And if it's like a negative day, just change that attitude around. It's starting right now. We have some positive vibes that are coming straight to you from Lamarck, Texas. It's going to be a good show.
I'm kind of scared still that you have this bat sitting in your hand.
But I have a big smile on my face.
Yeah, that's what they
Is that the creepy part?
That's the creepiest part about this. Somebody
I'm
asked
smiling?
him about the bat, so that way he can put the bat away and not scare Curt like he is right now.
I don't know. It just feels good to have this on my shoulder. It's kind of weighing me down a little bit, but man, no, there's just something about the game of baseball. It's American. You know, you think of like apple pie, baseball. We just got through the 4th of July, and I have a Louisville Slugger branded with KHEA Radio on it, and it just feels awesome. So shout out to Louisville Slugger.
Yeah.
As we get a call from
I'm going to have to go take this. You take over really fast. What do you think?
I can do that. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. Kayla, thank you for sharing our Facebook stream. We appreciate you taking the time to join us on Facebook. And then also taking the time to hit that share button. So if you're watching on social media, let me know, what do you have going on today? We have an awesome show lined up. We had a very busy weekend things have been awesome around here. You know, there's a lot of really cool things going on in our area. If you have something awesome going on, feel free to let me know. Let KHEA Radio know. Go and put it in the comments, and or just send us a message or an email, KHEA@KHEAradio.com. So it is Monday morning. Shark Week started like an hour ago. What does Shark Week mean to you? If you're watching or listening on your radio, let me know. What does Shark Week mean to you? Curt, what does Shark Week mean to you, though?
You know, I think sharks are one of the most intriguing animals that are out there. I feel like I've said this before when we've had fishing people in here. I want to catch a shark only because, like, I feel like in the entire animal kingdom, there's nothing greater than a great white shark.
I feel like they're misunderstood. They have those really sharp teeth. And people think that they're just trying to like, I don't know, there's some movies that were made, like Jaws, but I think they're just misunderstood. Right?
No, I don't think so. They want to eat you.
No, they don't. If I understand correctly, I think they're the kind that if you leave them alone, you're not trying to mess with them, then they're going to kind of do their own thing.
You know, I've seen one shark in my life. And it was at the Tackle Time fishing tournament that takes place from the Texas City Lamarck JCs.
Yeah.
It was hanging up, right? Like,
sure.
They caught it, they brought it in. The teeth looked like rubber plastic. Like, I was like, how are these, like, vicious animals?
What?
When you're looking at it, I'm like, oh, it just looks like rubber. Like, how can that, like, bite into me? But I feel like, and maybe we need to watch some Discovery Channel this week, because I feel like they're just like the clamping down of those plastic things just make
They're not. Curt, those teeth are not plastic. Those are sharp. I used to have a shark tooth necklace. Oh, man, I used to rock that. I remember going to a museum on a field trip, and I think my mom was one of the chaperones.
Yeah.
I was in like elementary school, right? And it was so cool to have a shark tooth necklace. They have like layers and layers of teeth. There's like rows. So it's not like a human. So it's just, one set of teeth. If they lose a tooth, they're okay, because it's like, well, I got 3 rows of these things and they're all jagged, ready to go to eat dinner.
Dang, I've never had a shark necklace.
You need
but
one.
I feel like if I live in Texas or
And it
like
shows.
in Galveston, you have to. Can you stop moving that bat? It scares me every time.
I just want to get some reps in. I don't want to go to the batting. Where's the nearest batting cage? Where's the nearest batting cages?
Who else watching on our Facebook page or listening at 99.5 FM is a little worried that Gardy Garcia has a baseball bat right in his hands? Looks like he's going to, like, tear up the studio. You know, he did say this morning, and pray for me about this, is the studio wasn't set up when we walked in at 8:25-ish, right? Like, right before we went in. Gardy's like, I'm going to stand here. You're going to set up the studio, and if you don't do it quick enough, I'm going to hit you in the back with the baseball bat.
And then I took some practice swings, swinging through, warming up. Hey, and guess what? It got set up in record time. It was the weirdest thing.
I heard when somebody has a bat like this. Can we show off the bat one more time? Because I'm still. So Louisville Slugger sent us his bat on Friday, and it said #1 radio station.
It must be true.
So it must be true if Louisville Slugger is saying it.
Oh yeah, and it's a black bat. Ooh, with this gold lettering. Me and Curt were talking about it, how cool this looks. We need a black and gold KHEA radio logo. After holding this bat, a genuine Louisville Slugger, solid wood, baby.
Like, and then the black polo with the gold KHEA radio logo, those would go nuts.
Dude, we may have to work on that.
Dang, for sure.
So, hey, if you have some cool stuff going on today, maybe you're excited for Shark Week. I see a comment from Becca. She said, watching Shark Week at the moment, and one of the boys I take care of during the week said, Miss Becca, I'm never going in the water again.
I feel that was kind of the scary thing growing up. Like, I didn't understand, like, why people wanted to go to the beach, right? Because in my head, being from Nebraska, I didn't understand, like, going to the beach, like, you can go to the beach and not get attacked by a shark.
Yeah.
But that was my mentality all the time, was like, hey, I'm going to go to the beach. There's going to be a little sharky in the water next to me, and then all of a sudden, like, I get pulled under, and then I lose a leg. Wow. Right? Like, that was my mentality as a poor little kid in Nebraska who didn't know better.
Didn't have beaches there, huh?
Didn't have beaches. Well, we also didn't have sharks. Like, we had beaches.
What? No, how do you have a beach?
Like a lake beach. Like, my grandparents had a house on a lake and had a beach.
What, Curt? I don't think that counts. Can you have a beach at a lake? And maybe I'm wrong, but I grew up in this area. So I grew up in Angleton, moved to Lamarck, but used to go to Surfside as a kid. And then, moving to this area, Lamarck, Galveston's right there. So that's the beach to me. Like a lake, I don't know. I guess it can count if you have sand. Like, what makes a beach a beach? I feel like one of the important things is the potential for a shark. and you don't have that at the lake, right?
No, you don't have a potential for a shark. But we did have catfish. You got to watch out for those. When you catch them and it tries to attack your finger,
Kurt,
you got to watch out for
Kurt,
them.
Please don't compare the catfish to the shark. They don't have Catfish Week.
They don't have baby catfish songs.
Catfish does have a TV show, but it's on MTV. And it's a totally different premise than that of Shark Week. What channel does Shark Week come on? Is it Discovery?
It's Discovery Channel. Do you go back? One of the things that I like is like on Netflix, you can actually watch like documentaries and stuff like that. I go back and watch like History Channel and all those other things because I love learning about the community and kind of things like, Area 51. Those are things that I find intriguing. Shark Week being one of them.
Man, Area 51. Hey, I got to read a little bit of this comment from David Craig. Thank you, sir, for tuning in, and thank you for giving us this feedback. He said, hey, the radio station's been cutting off in the car, at home, and whenever I'm listening, and right now it's been okay. So, yeah, we had some network issues yesterday, not just with our equipment, but our entire building, and we're aware. And we're working on it, and we're trying to do our best. Thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. Yeah, let us know if this program runs into some issues. Feel free to let us know because we want to make sure that we tackle those. But whenever we're on the air, it's really hard to get those tested and everything. But everything appears to be okay, so
Hopefully.
we're running with it. Let's go.
One of the things that I want to just say as well, like if you're having issues listening in your car, listening on the FM, go ahead and download the KHEA radio app. I know we say it all the time, but when you do, you can actually listen to us live anywhere that you have an internet connection. So if you're having issues, if you're traveling away from the Lamarck area,
why would you ever do that?
Yeah, because you can go anywhere from 601 Delaney Road.
That's true, but still.
So if you wanted to, just download that app, and then you can tune in and listen anytime.
Yeah, I have the app on my phone. We're trying to get to 1 million downloads by the end of this week. We're not quite halfway there. But
so, yeah,
that would be nice.
500,000 downloads, man. If we had I saw, by the way, the other day, this is ridiculous. There's a 6-year-old Korean, little kid, right?
Okay.
She makes $3 million a month doing, toy videos on YouTube. She just bought, a $7 million skyscraper in the middle of South Korea.
She bought a skyscraper? She bought a building?
Yeah, she bought a building that rents
Smart kid.
tenants. Right.
Yeah.
6-year-old. Makes way more money than I could ever even imagine. I'm like, is there enough $3 million out there a month for people to make? Yes. Yes, there is.
Okay, so if you're listening, maybe you're watching on Facebook and you have kids, do your kids watch YouTube videos? Do your kids watch those unboxing toy videos? My son, he's kind of moved on to some other stuff at the moment.
Yeah.
But man, for a while, that was life. No joke, that was life. And he wants to be, he informed me and my wife 2 days ago, he wants to be a YouTuber. And I was like, oh yeah, what's a YouTuber? And he was explaining I want to do this and that, and that's what I want to do. And I was like, oh, okay, you can do it. I can help you. But he's still at that point where he's like, I'm going to figure this out myself. But that would be fun. That would be fun. I'd put a camera on him and let him unbox some toys. But I feel like at the beginning, the investment would be really expensive. I'd just be buying a bunch of toys. And maybe that's the part he likes.
The one thing that was really bad about this situation is I brought that up to my girlfriend, Naola, and she looks at me and she goes, you know what that means? And I got scared a little bit, but I was also really excited at some point.
What does it mean?
It means that we need to have kids that also make millions of dollars a month. Just rely on your kids to make all your money for you, right?
Kurt.
No?
There's a lot of things I could say right now. And I may just end the stream and let this baseball bat do the talking for me. Just kidding. Hey, shout out to the big brothers and big sisters, Gulf Coast, right here in our area. They said, hey, guys, how did the race go on Saturday? So we were at Bay Area Raceway this weekend. We had an awesome time. I don't know if I want to talk about how the race exactly ended, but the Texas Showdown happened. We had a blast. We had someone come out from that Big Sisters and Big Brothers program, and I think they had fun as well. What do you think?
Yeah, we got beat. We got beat badly.
Yeah, we lost.
I was thinking like we would pull one of the game, just like 1 point. So how we did it is we did racing. We raced on the go-karts. Then we did some arcade games. And then we did laser tag, right? And I figured like out of those 3 categories,
We would get one.
we would get one.
It was a little rigged against us.
We didn't even get one.
Here's what I don't understand. Whenever we did the race, I don't know if I've ever raced a better race in my life. Were you watching me? Did you see me?
I was, well, after I got my concussion from being hit in the back.
Did I hit you?
No, they teamed up on me in the first quarter. Like, I swear it was Summer and Tabitha, and there was one other person, like, smashed me so hard that my head went like this.
Oh, no.
And I was just out of it. Like,
Is that what happened?
yes.
Because I saw you, like, at the very end, and I was like, Kurt's literally in last place right now. There is nobody that is behind him.
They
He's
gave
right
me
there.
a stinking, like, concussion. Like, come on.
So then, but after
That was on
your
purpose.
concussion and you came back, did you see what I was doing over there? I was orchestrating. I was like puppet mastering that race, but we had a blast. It was a lot of fun, and they somehow gave me second even though I finished first. Did you see that? I don't know. I didn't question it. After a while, I was like, this is obviously...
I understood what they were saying, and this was partly their fault. They didn't stop the race on time. Like, they didn't tell that first person to turn in because she was ahead of you. I don't remember her name, but she was ahead of you, but they didn't stop it on time. You were the first to pull in.
I was.
Right.
Because I was the leader of the pack.
Yes.
Usually that's how... I'm not sure how numbers work. I'm not a mathematician. But if you finish first, I think that's... It may be good, depending on what you're doing.
So, out of all of that, though, but I think you got second. But...
I'm claiming first. It says literally number one on this baseball bat.
Okay, Gardy. Take it easy. Put the bat down.
I'll just rest it on my shoulder. I'm just saying, it says number one on the bat. I finished first in the race. Somehow I get second.
You know, though, who was, like, deemed first and, like, actually got the prize of first place? This guy in laser tag. It actually said first place. And I walked around, and I was like, Somebody asked me, where did you learn to shoot like that? And I'm like, don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
We do want to know. I didn't see you one time in there. Were you hiding in the corner, like shooting people? Because I didn't see you because I was like running into enemy territory, blasting people in the back, and then like ducking around.
See, here was the thing: is I went downstairs. And there's like bases. Remember, they talked about the bases ahead of time?
Yeah, but then they also told me later, because I said, where are the bases at? They said, oh, the bases aren't working. That's what they told me.
Oh, well, I was shooting like targets that were red. There
Yeah.
were red targets, and I just kept shooting those. And then people would try to come down and shoot me, and I would shoot them. It was easy.
Yeah.
It was easy.
Yeah,
and then
I
was
didn't see
shooting
you.
people would like run away, and then I would shoot them in the back.
Well, that's...
Because that was where all the points were.
Wow.
I played for the points.
Okay. Well, it turned out good. I didn't know that they were missing a team member, which that's like one less target. She had to run out and handle some stuff, but
Yeah, how do you win without one teammate? Like,
because it's one less target. It's one less target that we had to shoot. Like, I'm over there shooting. I was like, where is everybody? I couldn't find anyone.
and then
I just found my team members. Like, well,
They
except for
did
you.
this on purpose.
No, there was some bamboozling happen. We're gonna need a rematch.
We're gonna call them up. I'm kind of perturbed by this right now.
Well, no. Whenever we go back and look at the numbers, and things aren't quite adding up, I think we may have won. I think we may have won.
I don't think I'm standing flipping our sign. So, because we lost, we have to go to Bay Area Raceway this weekend, flip a sign in a hot dog suit, and I don't know what Gardy's going to be wearing, but probably not. Like
Nothing. What do you say? Just normal clothes.
Like normal clothes. That's what
Yeah.
I meant to say. Not nothing. He's going to be wearing normal clothes, but we're going to have to flip some signs. I
Yep.
was practicing.
So right now it is 9 o'clock. We're gonna take a quick break. Whenever we come back, we're gonna have a special guest in studio. Hey, Mandolin, I see that you said, hey, I had an awesome weekend. I saw that you were out doing some really cool stuff. Logan said, my kids do watch YouTube videos. My 5-year-old's favorite is Ryan from Ryan's Toy Review, who also makes a lot of money. Kurt, maybe we need a Kurt's Toy Review channel.
Oh, that would be great.
That would work.
Man, I would do terrible at it.
Probably.
It would be like, habadi, 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 habadi. Hey, coming up at the 10 o'clock hour, make sure that you tune in. We're going to be talking semi-professional soccer in League City. It's going to be great. We're going to be talking about all things that they are doing in the city of League City. It's called Celtic FC America.
That sounds awesome. Celtic, let's go. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. My mouse has died, but it's come back. Here we go.
God is our refuge.
Awesome.
I'll set my bat down for now.
Wouldn't that be funny? Like, have a seat.
Have a seat. So, hey, Mandolin, what all did you get into? I saw that you were doing some, did you go hiking? And where were you? And why can't I find the plug to recharge this mouse? It's usually like, what's going on? My poor mouse. Oh, technology. Yeah, we ran into some issues yesterday with our radio station. It was giving us, y'all have this awesome camera view of me like just turning the mouse over and over, trying to figure out where it gets plugged in. I thought it was on the side, but oh well. Yeah, so let me know, what were y'all up to this weekend? We had a fun time. It was very busy. And then we had a really cool event yesterday. Good morning, Margaret. How are you doing? Hopefully all is well. But it is the beginning of Shark Week. That means Discovery Channel's playing a bunch of shark episodes. And Kurt's distracting me. Kurt, do y'all think Kurt needs a haircut? We were talking about that earlier. He was like, I need a haircut. I was like, dude, go get a haircut. No one's stopping you from getting a haircut. Oh, he's growing it out again. I remember for a while he didn't want to get a haircut last year, and he was saying like, "Oh, I'm growing it out for a man bun," and then everybody was like, "Please don't get a man bun."
Not quite long enough yet.
Yeah, it's not quite there. You could put a little ponytail right there at the top. What's up, Josue? How's it going, brother? I know Josue likes it whenever I call him Josh, but I like the name Josue. It sounds so smooth. It's a good name. Josh is a good name too, but. It's all cool. So we're waiting for our guest as Kurt's getting him directed in, and then we'll get into everything that he has going on. I'm watching both of them out there. I think Kurt's just shooting the breeze right now while I shoot the breeze with y'all. I don't know. He's stretching or doing something. Kurt is. He's bouncing. Practicing. I saw Chef's Table Charities posted a picture of like a baby flamingo trying to stand on one foot, and it was like, keep doing it, guys, practice. But it was cute. The color of the feet were kind of nuts.
We're gonna have Danny.
Yep. What's up, Stephanie? Shout out to Furniture Zone, our good friends. I need to come in. I think I'm gonna be buying a mattress.
Take a look at the shirt.
Why not?
Take a look at the shirt. Furniture Zone.
Woo! Good morning. You can get that mic situated. What you're going to want to do is pull it about this far away from your mouth, and then get nice and
you can put the headphones on if you want.
Situated if you want
Your
to.
hair looks good. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I'll just.
Yeah. The only thing will maybe be like, well, scoot closer to the mic, because you can, if you have your headphones on, then you can hear like, hey, I can't, my vocals aren't loud enough, or my voice isn't. But.
Awesome.
So let's see. We got a song playing right now. We're jamming some Toby Mac. The song's called The Elements. That's what's going on the FM, or if you're streaming from the app. And is it Danny?
Correct.
Danny. What's your last name?
Myers.
Danny Myers. Where are you from?
Well, originally from South Texas, but been living here in the Clear Lake area in Nassau Bay for about 25 years.
Cool. And so what all do you have going on? Kurt mentioned a little bit to me, but what do you have going on?
Well, so Lighthouse Video Surveillance, that's the company that that I run.
Okay. And what do y'all offer?
So we work with businesses and talk with them about how they can protect their businesses through smart security camera systems. That's kind of in a nutshell.
Okay. So security systems, they seem to have really changed here lately. Like, I know, like, the Ring doorbell came out and it's kind of been a game changer. Like, man, I can put a video camera, like, right there, and people's trying to, like, packages go missing all the time. There's really different ways, I guess, you can protect what you have or at least view what's going on. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on, I guess, how videos change the game in security?
You know, the old adage is like, camera systems basically tell you what happened previously, what happened yesterday. So people go back, they will oh, what happened? My package went missing, right? Where camera systems going today is preventing things because cameras are getting smarter.
Yeah.
So, the old analog camera systems, people try to pull up a VCR and look at the video. The quality is horrible. That's very hard to access, and a lot of times the systems weren't even recording. And so there's just been leap years of not leap years, but light years of change. Since I first entered the industry about 20 years ago. So
okay, yeah. So what did security look like about 20 years ago?
So when I first entered, they just came out with digital video recorders. So you'd still take analog cameras, and the analog cameras, they would be plugged into a box. Look kind of like a VCR, right? But the quality was pretty horrible. It was like less than VGA. It was type quality, and just pretty bad. But it was digital, and it was at least recording, because a lot of times those VCR tapes, people wouldn't even work. They'd be written over about 50 times or more, and you go back and look, and there's even no video, or it's real squiggly. That's these old-fashioned videos you see where they're just some convenience store where a person gets shot or something, and they're saying, "Do you recognize this person?" And there's nothing that's even usable.
Yeah, you can't tell.
He's just right there, right?
I saw something yesterday on Facebook. They were even able nowadays to go in and look at like a specific part of a tattoo to determine if it was the right person or not. Like, that's how good video surveillance has gotten.
Yeah, the game has changed. I know that you can have apps on your phone and get alerted like, hey, there was motion detected at your front door, and then you can see who's there and then even communicate and talk back to them. So that's really, really cool. What's next, or what is currently considered, hey, this is the top of the line? What is right now?
Well, you got to keep in mind in a house, right? So if somebody has a camera system for their house, there's only so much money they're going to spend on a camera system, right?
Right.
So but a business, they may be willing to spend a lot more money because it's going to come back and save them money in the future. It's going to prevent certain things from happening. So it makes more sense from a business standpoint to get high-end technology. And so when you're talking about, or maybe it's a school where maybe they can't even afford it, but they have to have it. Right,
yeah.
To protect the students.
Sure.
So when you talk about technology, on the high end, what does it look like? The cameras are smart. They're not just recording video. Sure, the video quality is great, but on top of that, it's actually running what's called analytics. And so it can determine that that's a person and not just a dog walking by or a shadow or something. So it knows it's a person. And what is the person doing? It actually can analyze that video real time.
Wow.
So for example, one of the coolest things that I think is that it can attach metadata, right? So you walk into the room, it knows your approximate age, it knows what color shirt you're wearing, pants you're wearing, what hat you're wearing, and it keeps track of that information in the system. And so then you can go back later. So if somebody wants to look for you, they say, well, he was wearing a black shirt and blue pants. It was around this time frame, and it'll pull you up. It'll pull up anyone with that description. And then you click on that person, and the next thing you know, it pulls up you across, a 2-hour time window where you were all over the facility.
Can it also see patterns? Let's say if it's at a school or a restaurant or something, and it's lunchtime, it's it's a high traffic time. Mm-hmm. It kind of knows this is the busy times.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So it'll actually learn an environment. So there's some systems that will basically learn an environment. It knows approximately what time of day that there's a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So let's say that if there was a crowd that suddenly gathered at an off time, it can alert. It can do something like provide an alert to a security guard or to the owner of the business, and it can do that literally autonomously. Like, you don't have to actually do any programming. It actually learns the environment. Or if somebody comes running by, like say it's a cafeteria at a school, and someone runs through, that becomes a unique event that says, hey, someone needs to take a look at this.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can immediately pop up for the security guards or security staff.
Yeah, I got you. So it knows that something's up, something's going on. Do you specifically do businesses? Are you open to doing houses, schools, or who's your ideal client?
Sure. Yeah. So we are a business-to-business type of company. We have a few residential clients, but really it's typically our business owners, wanting their house, they're wanting a real high-end system. It's typically we're problem solvers, And so if you have a business that is losing money because of injury, say it's a safety issue or it's a theft issue going on, we're preventing through videos because they're more proactive.
Yeah.
So it's not the typical solution like you go to Costco, buy a camera system and just pop some cameras in. That's not what we do. We're more of a solution based.
Okay, gotcha. So how noticeable are these cameras? Like if somebody sees a camera system, are they going to be kind of turned away from like, hey, I'm going to do something mischievous if they see it, or is it like if it's inconspicuous and you don't see it, is that a better option, or does it depend on the situation?
Yeah, it's a real good question. I am doing this for 20 years. I'm telling you, it's always better to prevent than to try to catch somebody. I mean, 99% of the time, it's better to just prevent it from the get-go. Now, hey, there's situations where something is going on that you need to capture. Let's say that there was something going on with your family,
right?
That you're expecting that there might be an issue, and you want to make sure that if you catch it, like say you're thinking, hey, the child care worker is abusing the child, or maybe it's an adult parent or something that's being taken care of in a home health situation, and you feel like they're not being taken care of properly. Hey, go for a covert camera. They would work great. Okay, but for the most part, you just want to prevent, and so having cameras that are visible is a big deal. I mean, honestly, even if it's a bad quality system, just having it and having cameras up is a big deterrent factor.
Yeah,
so,
sometimes they'll see the signs too. It's like, hey, business is under surveillance, and it's posted whenever you walk in. And it's like, oh, even if you don't see them, it kind of crosses your mind. It's like, okay, cool, like that's good, But if somebody's in there trying to do something not good or steal, then they may be able to turn them away.
But there's a lot of these crooks are pretty smart too. They know that most cameras can't, even if there's a camera there, can't detect them or like be able to recognize them. Can't read their license plate typically. Most of these camera systems can't even do that. So when people they feel there's a deterrent value, but the really smart ones, they'll still know how to get around things. Honestly, you cover their face and things like that.
Why did you choose to get into security? You've been doing it for 20 years. How did your path kind of lead you to starting Lighthouse?
It's funny, so I kind of fell into I started a graphic design business after doing that for NASA. I worked for NASA for a few years, and business didn't really do so great. I was trying to build this new business, and I was like, I needed to supplement my income, and I read a thing in the paper, hey, sell security cameras, not security cameras, but security, and got into that, selling burglar alarm systems to residential in the evening, and then that kind of morphed into that company was sold, ended up was bought by ADT, and ended up selling a lot of cameras through ADT and another company called ASG, and basically I got. The challenge working for those big companies is that I didn't have any control really over the end product, and so the client, I might tell them, hey, this is how we're going to protect your business, and then the company comes and does something different, or they mess up the billing or whatever. So realized that the only way for me to really have happy customers and for me to sleep well at night was to start my own business, so we have control over the situation.
ADT, how big are they? They're a pretty big business, right?
Very big, yeah, and and they've changed owners a number of times. They've been bought, sold, and so I don't really keep track. I don't really know who owns them at this point. It used to be Tyco, and then they split and all.
Can you share the benefits and in your opinion and thoughts? Why is it better to go with someone like Lighthouse Video Surveillance, your company, as opposed to what I'll call like one of the massive companies like an ADT?
Okay. Well, for what we do in working with the businesses is that we are solution based. We're looking to solve their issues. So when we walk in the door, we're not asking them how many cameras do you want, where do you want to put them. That's what the box places will do. How many cameras do you want? And they'll give them a bid, and they'll go to the next one. What we're looking to do is fix their issues. So we walk in the door, we want to sit down. Let's talk about what challenges are you experiencing. And it turns out they thought they just wanted cameras for security, and now we're putting cameras in for safety, or putting it for operational. They realized previously they thought, when they use their camera systems, they're like, it took them hours to find something, and now we'll show them that they can find it in seconds.
Yeah.
And then they're like, wow, I could literally use this on a daily basis. I could use this for operations and not just, on the one-off that I'm going to get broken into or something.
We get we're in a lot of talk groups, like Talk of League City, Talk of Taco, Talk of Texas City. And it seems like I see all the time, like nowadays, like it's like, hey, like take a look at this surveillance footage. This person tried to break into my car, or successfully this person broke into my car. Now that image and that video is out there for everybody to see and make their determination and maybe help find it. Is that a good thing for our society?
I think it is. I think it is. That's actually where the Ring thing, I think, is taken off residentially, is that people can share in these Ring. You don't even have to own a Ring to be part of these Ring communities where they
Somebody on your street.
where they share the video. I think it's fantastic. You mentioned Ring earlier. I love that concept. I love the Ring, and so from a residential standpoint, man, I think everybody should get one, and they're so easy to install. It just replaces your everybody has wireless in their house. It works off a wireless signal, and it's powered by your doorbell power. So that type of concept is fantastic for residential.
So right now it is 9:17. We're speaking to Danny Myers. He is the president and the founder of Lighthouse Video Surveillance. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share this video out. Let us know, is your house, being surveillanced? Do you have a security system? If you are a business owner, is your business being surveyed? If it's not being surveyed by you, it may be being scoped out by somebody else. If there's a business owner listening, can you explain to them, or maybe give the reasons why they should look at getting a video surveillance system? Like, if there's 3 top reasons, what are they?
I think the number one reason is somebody will experience something of a loss of some sort. They'll experience let's say it was employee theft in some way. They have products that they're experiencing employee theft, or they had a break-in. It's typically, we're reactive, right? That's just how we work. So somebody will have something happen, and then they'll say, we got to do something about this.
Right.
Well, that let's when you consider your business, you consider what are the things that are costing you money. Be a little bit more proactive about it. Think like a bad guy. Think like a bad guy. When you're considering your business, how vulnerable are you? And security in general versus just cameras, right? Maybe cameras aren't what they need. Maybe they just need a burglar alarm system, or maybe they need to put up a fence around their property. So maybe they need more lights around their business. And so, but yeah, talk to someone that really cares. I would say, really, whether it's Lighthouse or some other company, if you meet with someone about your business and really they just come across like they're just trying to sell you something or push something on you, just be cautious. If someone if the security rep cares about your business and wants to know more about your business to help you, whether it be selling you something or referring you somewhere else, take a listen. Okay.
Wow. Curt, have you ever had a security system, even in your house? I know we're talking about maybe like business stuff, but did you have one growing up?
No, I've never had a security or concerns for security. I know in my apartment complex that there are some people who do that, where they put it in, but I'm like, it's an apartment complex. Why are you putting video surveillance at an apartment complex? I feel like maybe that's my mentality that I have, where it's like, it's just an apartment complex. Like, it's not that big of a
stuff
deal.
Inside. What?
Yeah, but to me, it's not a big deal. Like, if somebody tries to break into, I'm one of those people that doesn't sleeps with my door unlocked.
If somebody came to your house and stole all your computer equipment, your camera gear, maybe your drones there, would you be upset?
But then that's why you have insurance, because then you get it all back. Right? Even better than
I don't know.
He's
He's the expert if you have something to prove it. Otherwise, I don't know. You could have just lost it or just say hey, somebody stole it, But if you have proof, I'm guessing that helps, right? Hey, here's a video of somebody. Maybe you can capture them, get your stuff back. The SD cards that are irreplaceable, right? With all the footage that you have. I don't know.
Well, I could say a couple things. So number one, if you have a camera system, if you have a security camera system at your home, you're probably going to get a discount on your insurance. Just keep that in mind. Another thing is thankfully I have not been broken into. My house has never been broken into, and that but after talking to folks for many years, man, I can tell you that they say they feel like they were violated.
Oh yeah.
So having somebody come in, and it maybe not even the things that they took. It was just people were in there scrummaging through their things, that things that they've damaged in the process, things that are irreplaceable, things like, family photos or just keep that in mind. I mean, not from a scare tactic standpoint, but these are things that people have literally told me through the years. They just felt like they were violated. So just keep that in mind.
All right. So, hey, we're going to go on and reintroduce you right now. Here we go.
KHEA Radio Possible.
Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. It's 921. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy.
And I'm Curt.
We have Danny Myers in studio with Lighthouse Video Surveillance. Danny, how you doing today?
Fantastic.
How long have you been doing surveillance and security and consulting people? How long have you been in this business?
Man, it's been almost 20 years. I hate to admit that.
20 years. So I feel like a lot has changed in the past 20 years, just in the world, the way that people live and what you kind of have to be prepared for. How does security come into, protecting your family, protecting your business, and why is it important?
Well, did we start over?
Yeah, basically. Well, so we're on the FM now. So we've been on Facebook, and we had some issues where we couldn't go on the FM because of the mouse, but now we're on the FM.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't repeat the same thing. I'm sorry.
You can, because there's a different audience listening on the FM now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, fantastic. So, hey, when you're looking at if this is for your residents, just consider the things that if you had someone come into your property, how would that make you feel? We mentioned a little bit earlier that after doing this for 20 years, folks say they feel like they were violated, whether it be the people coming into their house and stealing things or just rummaging through things. And so we also talked about the benefits of, hey, you may be able to get a discount on your insurance, by having a camera system or a security camera, burglar alarm. So just consider those things.
One of the things how we kind of met was at Dr. Choppa's event back in January, but you were at Space Center Houston for the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, and it was your company that had all of the cameras around the facilities. Can you kind of talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So we've been talking with Space Center Houston about their security, and this 50th anniversary event came up, and they were really looking to do something, put temporary video surveillance out in the parking lot in the event area, because they had they're going to have a lot more people that are going to be there. It's a little more high-profile event, so they needed more security. They had temporary booths for ticketing and things like that, security booths. And so they needed some temporary solution all out in the parking lot area and in the stage area. And so it gave us a great opportunity to kind of showcase what we do, because we're able to do those type of facilities, whether it be arenas, whether it be schools, and so we had a number of cameras there in the parking lot and the stage. And one of those cameras, I don't know, I think I mentioned,
you showed me the camera,
was a 16 megapixel video camera. So every frame is 16 megapixels. So the video files are huge, but what's pretty cool is you can zoom in, literally 250 feet away and see someone's face. Just pretty phenomenal.
And that was all mobile. Like you came and set up outside for the event, right?
Yeah. Well, we were connected through their network. So I was there really just more to document the event, so that we can use it for marketing. But we'd come in the week before with a tech and work with their IT department and everything, got all that set up in advance. So it was all hardwired.
Yeah. So I noticed on your card right here it says that all the stuff that you do, and then it says and maintenance. Can you kind of define what does that mean?
So when it comes to camera systems, when it comes to access control, there is some maintenance involved. It's electronics, right? So thankfully we use good quality stuff that lasts. It has warranties, things like that. But hey, man, especially when it comes to access control, there's issues with the doors, with the strikes and things like that. So that need to be maintained. So have someone that they can reach out to if their system isn't doing what they expect it to do. So unfortunately, the industry is a little different. When you think of maintenance for something else like your AC, you're thinking, hey, they're going to come out, they're going to clean it, things like that. Now we do have a few clients like that, but most that the industry calls maintenance is more like kind of like an extended warranty, for the components and things like that to make sure that they're working. So that's what we mean by that.
Okay, so 2 years later, something silly happens, or it's like, hey, this was working. Maybe there was an update in their network. Maybe there was an update on the software side.
Yeah.
You just have to come and be like, okay, yeah, here, it works now. It's compatible.
Yes, yeah, that can be done. Sometimes we have to visit the site, and sometimes we can do that remotely. We can actually do, maintain some of this stuff remotely.
What are some of the cool things that are coming out now? What do you see changing, I guess, in the video surveillance and in the industry in the next, 5-10 years?
Well, the big buzzword is AI, artificial intelligence, and what that means for the consumer, for the business consumer is the camera system is not just a dumb thing that's recording that you go back and see what happened yesterday. It can actually be gathering data for you right now today, and it can be proactively responding to an event. So let's say it's a school, right? So we work with some private schools in the area. We work with school districts. Right? We work and so let's say that you have a kid come running through the cafeteria. Well, that becomes a unique event because people don't typically run in that area, and it knows that a person is running through an area. We have things like gunshot detection, where it can actually detect a gunshot and instantly pull up a camera that's in the vicinity of that gunshot. You can even have your system programmed to where it does certain things. It immediately shuts down, locks doors. It does. All these things through technology, but it's really through AI as well as just advanced programming.
So if it picks up on those things, what happens? Does it notify like the security hub? Does it call the police? Is it changeable?
Absolutely, yeah. So let's put it this way. Let's say you're a business owner and you have a yard, right? So you have stuff that's important to you that's outside.
Mm-hmm.
You have a fenced-in area. Well, the camera can actually be in that area watching at night, all night. And if someone is detected in that area or even near that area, let's say it was a property line, you had a camera looking down a fence line, and it detects that person walking up to your fence, before they've even cut a piece of your fence, you can have a loudspeaker pop on and say, leave immediately.
Wow.
So it can notify the owner. It can notify a monitoring center. People can be responding before they've even actually done anything, like broken a window or cut a fence. It's pretty phenomenal. Yeah.
One of the things that like Santa Fe High School I know was looking into, because I attended one of their board meetings, the school board meetings, is they were hiring a company that works in Las Vegas that does like some of the casinos out there that can recognize people's faces like as they're walking in. So you're monitoring from right when they walk in the building, hey, that person may or may not supposed to be here at this time. It was nuts, like when they were describing it, how detailed it can be, like picking up different segments of your face and monitoring that and keeping a log of that information.
Yes. Yeah. So you can actually have, for something like a school or say a church that has someone that they know that is that shouldn't be there. Maybe if someone has a restraining order, it's a child's parent or something like that, there's a custody issue, they can literally tag that person. It says if this person shows up, we need to know about it instantly, and it can alert the security.
Isn't Texas City ISD like on the cutting edge of security? I think I've seen some articles, and maybe we've talked about it before. Have you seen any of that?
They did like a $2.5 million revamp of their entire school district,
right?
Because of it, right?
Yes. Yeah, they have it, and the same technology that they're using there is the technology that we've been using.
Okay.
That's
10
awesome.
years, yeah.
So that's where the future is going. Just the artificial intelligence kind of doing that monitoring for you, notifying security. Or I think that's really interesting how you can be like, hey, loudspeaker turns on, lights come on, you're being watched, pretty much saying, stop, you're being watched. That's a big deal.
Yeah. Here one of the coolest things that I think about that's so usable, whether it be Space in Houston or be a school, is that if there's metadata actually attached to the video whenever the analytics are running on these higher end systems. So let's say you have a student that you're looking for that was wearing a red hat and had blue pants, and if you know the general time frame, or maybe it was there's an adult that was walking around the outside of the school that shouldn't have been there. Well, if you know a general description, they can actually just say, well, he was wearing a red hat and blue pants around this time. It was a 4-hour window. you put that in, and immediately it'll just pop up the video.
Yeah, with this technology coming out, is it possible for people to get like, I think of like, hey, there's good guys and bad. Yeah, we need to monitor our schools, but is it possible for like the wrong people to get their hand on that technology to use it for, I don't even know what. I'm just throwing out an imaginary scenario.
You know, I don't think so. I mean, so the systems themselves are very they're very there's levels of security. So like say if the school has the solution, someone on the outside is not going to be able to hack in and get into that system.
Okay.
Unless someone has let them into the system somehow. Let me give you an example here for CCISD. This is they're actually looking they're going to be revamping the security across every school in the CCISD, and the same technology, this Vigilon system that we use, is the system that we actually introduced it to CCISD, and they're going to be putting that across the entire district.
Yeah.
Well, League City, the police, they actually use a Vigilon as well. So they may be able to be working out some solution to where if something happens at the school, they can immediately have it pump over to the police where they can instantly see it. Now, but that would be a fiber connection, kind of a private type of a network. It's unhackable type of thing.
Yeah.
So the security, when we're talking about this type of security, it's very secure. With different levels and permissions and.
Sure. The other thing that's not directly related, but you see the movies. I think of even like a Batman movie.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, there's all this technology. It's like, we're literally surrounded by cameras right now, and all of like the facial recognition software, and like, my security, am I secure? Are people spy? Is this camera on whenever it's not really on? Can people hack in there? And I think the answer is yes.
That's probably one of the biggest concerns that I have, when I'm out and about in the community or something like happens, like, oh, somebody saw that. When I accidentally like run over a curb because I wasn't paying attention, and I'm like, oh, and then I steer back. And I'm
Someone
like,
filming this?
Someone definitely, or like, when I cut somebody off and they take a picture of in the back of my life, this dude just cut me off, and it's in like Talk of League City or something, or, when I spill coffee all over myself and I'm outside my apartment, I'm like, somebody was filming this. It's on like the Truman Show or something.
Yeah.
I just realized whenever you were asking that question a while ago, in my mind, immediately I was just thinking about our solutions that we do. But your question is extremely valid because there's a number of solutions that are out there. I mean, I'm going to say probably the majority of solutions do have issues where somebody can actually hack into those systems. There's backdoor issues. There was recently, it's actually been probably 8 months ago now, but there was a ban on technology coming from China from certain manufacturers because of certain things. For example, a number of these companies have major connections to the Chinese government. For one, there's backdoor issues on the camera systems, and people say, hey, here's the thing. I don't think that the Chinese government wants to see the camera in your house. I don't think they want to see the camera in your business, honestly. But what happens is all these devices that you have on your network, they're on your network. So like your cameras, all these are network devices which can be a backdoor into your network. So now they're not looking at your camera, but they're taking your data. They're taking your customer information. It's a breach of data. So now they're taking that information and they're able to sell it. They're able to act upon it. They're able to hack your business. So, or your home or whatever. So they can take your financial information. I mean, that all can be done through literally a camera.
Wow. Because it's connected to the network, and then there's an issue with the there's a backdoor in. Wow.
I used to think that people would hack into my phone because every once in a while I would see like apps opening up, and I'm like, but then I realized it was just my cracked screen.
Wow. Like, okay, I got you. So your phone was just like, hey, it opened, but it was your screen issue.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody wants in your phone, except for your girlfriend. That's the only person we want in there. It's 9:35. This is KHEA.com, 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11. We're speaking with Danny Myers with Lighthouse Video Surveillance out of Nassau Bay. Nassau Bay, that's a really cool area. We've recently met a lot of people. NASA's right there. It's a really tight-knit community. Are you why are you located there?
So whenever we moved to the area, we were real drawn to that area. We go to church over there in Nassau Bay, and then but just love that community. And so we've lived there actually in 5 locations in the same city, which is 2 different
That'd be
apartment
hard to
complexes.
do because it's not that big.
Yeah, yeah, 2 apartment complexes and 3 houses, but we love it there. Now, when I started my business, I'm like, man, I wanted us to be able to continue to be there, but also give back. So like my tax dollars would be going to the city and
Right.
stuff. So we love Nassau Bay, and they've worked well with us actually to help keep us in there in the city.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been when we needed to move from a previous location there, the city manager was like, hey, what can I do to help? So he helped us find another place in the city to stay. So it's pretty cool.
Can you share about the business name? Was that easy to come up with? I like it because it kind of works with the surveillance and lets you know, like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
We're going to shine the light on the darkness.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it does have dual meaning, So from a security standpoint, you think of what's a lighthouse do? A lighthouse is there to warn people and to help people, to protect people, basically, right? So you have, the ships coming into the harbor. They want to avoid the rocks. They want to avoid smashing against. That's what we want to do to help these businesses to avoid the pitfalls, the perils. But when it comes to the other meaning of that is that lighthouse, hey, I'm a Christian, and we're a for-profit company, but we want to run the company in a way that's honoring to God, right? So, we are all called as Christians to be a light, and so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be a light in this dark world, and so there we go.
I got
Lighthouse.
you. So there's a couple questions I have, and we aren't going to talk about like pricing, and I'm sure every job is different, but sometimes like technology upgrading, you think of security. If you don't have it, it's like, man, this is going to be expensive,
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's an investment now to help you, in the future,
Mm-hmm.
but does it get like crazy expensive? I know it can, but is there like an easy way in to at least like to have something?
Yeah, so there's pretty much 3 different ways of buying a camera system, whether it's for your business or for your home. Okay, right. Number 1 is the do-it-yourself version. So you buy a system from the internet, or you buy a system from Fry's or Costco or something.
Mm-hmm.
Find something that's kind of have just general cameras. You put them in for yourself. I mean, something like that, you're going to look at cost. It probably cost you around, on the low side, around $500. On the high side, probably around $3,000, $2,000. If you're putting a bunch of camera, say 8 or cameras or so at your house or your business. The next version is to go to like the box store. Not box stores. Like the ADT, the ASG, where it's kind of a generic type of a solution. They sell it. They send someone out and they say, how many cameras do you want? Where do you want to put them? You say, hey, I want 8 cameras. They're going to put a system in that's pretty similar to what you could have bought for yourself. It's pretty much the same thing typically that you can buy at Costco or something. But now they're putting it in. They're telling you, hey, let's put a camera here and here. So they're giving you some advice in the process. That's going to cost you, instead of the $1,000 before, now it's going to cost you probably around $3,000, okay, because of the labor that they're providing. And stuff, right. And then you have a solution like what we do, which is we're not doing either one of those. We're trying to solve a problem. So there is actually a place in the market for the do-it-yourself. So if someone just wants to put some cameras up around their business, there's not really major issues. They just want to put some cameras so they can see whenever when they're gone, they want to go on vacation and check on their business. Hey, go for it.
Check on the dog.
Check on the dog. Yeah.
Anybody.
Hey,
yeah.
that type of thing. But if you're actually trying to solve an issue, if you're trying to save your company money from things, that's where you need a company like us to be able to advise you. So that's what we're talking about. Hey, what challenges are you experiencing right now? What are things that have worked for you in the past? What are things that have not? And how do we fix your issues from here? And so we're problem solvers. That's how we do.
Whenever you're doing a surveillance or security for a business, how many times are they shocked to find out what's going on? Like maybe they had hey, something's missing, or maybe sodas. Where's all the money going? And then they're shocked to find out like this was happening, and for how long? Does that happen often?
Yeah, it does actually. There's a good example here. There's a client. They had a horrible camera system. It was put in they literally had their employees put this in. Their maintenance guy put these cameras. And this is a multi-million-dollar company, and they had all these terrible cameras. But the brains of the system died. Their DVR died. Right. So we came in with this fantastic solution that replaced the brains. so it's recording. Within the first week, they fired 2 people for safety violations. I mean, like major safety violations where they could have died. And so they the very first week, we didn't even touch the cameras. They were still the same, terrible quality cameras, but now they could actually see the video instantly. So their safety manager, he looks at the video, he reviews it, and he sees them like climbing into these tanks without their safety harness, and they literally could have died. And so he instantly fired those folks. And guess what? Everybody is following the safety procedure.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Dang, it makes it. Are you going to put those up here
If we had
in the
cameras-
studio?
Well, we do have cameras in the studio currently, Kurt, and I have been monitoring them whenever you don't know. And I am shocked about what goes on in here, and it has to stop today.
I'm sorry that I eat tacos in your chair while you're not around.
You should never be sitting in my chair.
Oh, you're not upset about the eating the tacos part?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay,
You
good.
eat all the time. As long as we're not on the air, I'm okay with it. As long as we're not on the air.
So my question is it boils down to this. Should you be protecting yourself, and why? Like, should everybody have surveillance up? Should there be cameras everywhere so that we're safe? That's a tough question.
yeah,
I know. I'm sorry.
It is. And so there's so much prevention that can be obtained, by having cameras. We work with cities, so we have some of the cities in this area that we do cameras, and things have gone on in the city, where there was break-ins that took place, and having the cameras on the street where they can go back and see who came into the city at certain times of night. Instantly, they could solve crimes in a fraction of the time. Before, it would just be a shot in the dark. Hey,
Description, everything.
not even description of vehicles, because if somebody comes in there and breaks in. Well, but with these now that we have cameras on the street that capture license plates, they just, when they have an event come up, they'll go back and look at that time frame and see what took place during that. How many people came in and out of the city. And then, hey, here's a list of there's only 2 people that have come in and out during the same time they had a break-in. So now they're solving crimes. I mean, and when these cities work together, that's even more powerful, because you have these the cities, they'll talk to the other city. Hey, we had an event over here, and it was a brown Suburban or something. And then, hey, we scanned through the cameras. Yeah, here's a brown Suburban at this time. They came in here this night, and there was a break-in that night. And so now they're putting things together, and they're solving crimes in our area. So. I do, I have, whether it be, I am a proponent, of cameras being in public spaces, because for folks that don't have anything to hide. I mean, hey, right? I mean, it's just bad guys that don't like the cameras everywhere. Most people that I've talked to, they don't mind having cameras in these areas because they feel more safe.
Yeah. Should every city have cameras, some kind of surveillance?
I think they should.
Mm-hmm. Also, I guess the other question is, and I don't know if you see stuff all the time where people get falsely accused, but it's like an eyewitness, like, oh, they were dressed like this, and then they I'm imagining a movie like with the lineup. Obviously, the camera would be more accurate and can see like license plates and everything else, which would help with that. But I'm sure there may be a situation where it's just a mix-up, like they went around a back way, or there's some other things, and it's almost scary to think like, man, if technology can like falsely somehow accuse, or what about with like video editing? There's all kinds of stuff, and then it's I guess that's more of a conspiracy thing, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, there was a situation, from what I've heard, I wasn't here for this situation, but there was a situation at this church where somebody was here at the church, and cameras caught the person who, I guess he was like on his way home or something, and somebody had actually come to this church and like targeted somebody. And the cameras were able to see that person and pinpoint, hey, this was the person. He was actually here at the church, with the person before that took place, that crime took place. It was kind of, intriguing that cameras were able to help in those situations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me address the one you're talking about, because video editing, I mean, I've seen things that are completely impossible happen, right, on YouTube. Like,
Face app. You saw the face. I mean, that kind of went viral for a bit. Everyone's like, hey, this is what I look like 80 years old,
Yeah.
and it's just like, literally like Snapchat. Here's what I look like as a dog. You know what I mean?
Did you see that meme with that face app where someone was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm at my grandma's house, and it's like some girl.
I did see that.
Like, "Hey, send a picture," and it's like, "Hey, look," and it was the face app, obviously on the other girl. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it's not. Maybe for you, but yeah, just the technology part of
when
that.
it comes to the video, when you look at video digitally, you can tell if it's been edited or not. And when it comes to security video, there's an encryption component to that. So the video is encrypted, so you can tell if it's been edited. And that's whenever they're exporting video from the system to give to the police or something, it needs to be in that encrypted state or so that it's protected.
So whenever it's on that level. And that surveillance, there's ways to check.
Yeah, and then it can be used in court. If in that way. Hey, you mentioned earlier. I'm going to point this out. When it comes to, prevention, having cameras, is a big preventative tool. And some folks are like, well, dang, they're such a good preventative tool. I don't even need cameras. I'm just going to put fake cameras up. Okay, so I want to talk about that real quick. So when it comes to your house, you can do whatever you want. You want to put fake cameras up, put them all around your house. Go for it. Knock yourself out. If it's a business, you cannot do that because because what happens is you create a false sense of security for employees or for people that are coming into your business. And so there have been a number of lawsuits where let's say that there was a woman that was violated in a parking lot, and she's like, look, the cameras, I felt safe going to my car every night because I thought the cameras worked and I thought there was security, and the cameras were fake. So you think of it, and when I first heard of people suing because of false sense of security, I was like, come on, that's just a lawsuit abuse. But then I realized, wow, there's really, you can't do that. So I just want to point that out. If you're in a business situation, if you have a restaurant, if you have a business, do not put fake cameras up. It's a huge liability.
Wow. That's something I never thought of before.
I've always wondered why, like, even apartment complexes, that would not have on like every corner something like that. Because you think of like parking lots where your cars are, and people have their cars broken into a lot.
Mm-hmm. Or like hit and runs at apartment complexes.
Yes, those are things that are a big deal, for people, and you just got to help, take a look at those things.
Yeah, and the reason why they typically don't have so many in the parking lot is it just gets real expensive. To put cameras everywhere. There's a lot of wiring and conduit and all these things to get them around the complex. And if someone's having, here's the thing: if it's an apartment complex and they're having a lot of break-ins, then they're probably having a lot of people leave and not renew their leases, right? Mm-hmm. So then it becomes a cost. Like, they have to do something, right? Mm-hmm. And so then they go ahead and spend the money to get cameras to prevent the crime.
And that's why you see a lot of gated communities now, like gated apartments to help protect against that. You can monitor who's going in and out.
Yeah, like punching the code, I guess, like, hey, ring it in. There's all kinds of stuff, different ways, I guess, that they take an initiative to try and crack down on stuff. But right now it's 9:48. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. If you're watching on Facebook, smash the share button. And let us know what you have going on today. If you have a business, do you have video surveillance? Is that something you're interested in learning more about? Let us know in the comments. If you already are secure, that's cool. I think taking any initiative, any step to prevent and protect your employees, to protect your customers and clients, and even yourself and your investments is a good idea. It's a great idea.
How can people get in contact with you? We got about 10 more minutes here, and then we're going to be talking about semi-professional soccer.
Yeah, so they can go to the website. The website is lighthousevs, like videosurveillance.com, so lighthousevs.com. We actually are working on producing content to kind of educate our prospective clients and just the market and the public in general. I think that's something that our industry is missing. Is it how do people get educated on this stuff? How do they keep like, for example, that example that I gave about the false sense of security. How do people get educated on that? Because they're not going to get it pretty much anywhere else. So, so we're working on educating folks, and so we're producing content on the website. So our YouTube channel as well, Lighthouse Video Surveillance.
Yeah.
Of course, our number is on the website, or they can reach out with a contact us form type of thing.
With you being the expert, and having Lighthouse Video Surveillance, whenever you go to a spot, or maybe one of your employees goes to a spot, would you, I guess, give your honest opinion, being like, okay, if this was me, my business, there needs to be something here, there, so that way you can kind of scope everything. Because, anytime that we bring an expert in, we always ask their opinion first, and maybe you would ask mine, like, well, what are you trying to achieve? And then you kind of come together and say, this is the best solution. Is that how the process normally works?
Absolutely. The common thought is whenever clients call us out is that they instantly want to go look around and see where to put cameras. And but we have to kind of reel them back and say, hey, before we go look around, let's talk about the problems. Let's talk about why'd you call us out here today? Or and we can even educate them on some of the things that they may not even realize that they can protect themselves from. And then we go take a look at the property. So that's one of the keys. I wanted to point out something. We see this all the time. We're meeting with these clients. We'll ask them this question. Say, hey, on your system that you've been using for the past 5 years, or any system in the past, how long does it take you to find video if something happened? Right. Number one, people typically can't find it. Okay.
Right.
But say, hey, if you knew exactly what time it happened at 2:45 on May the 2nd. How long does it take you to find the video? The most common answer is 10 to 15 minutes, if they know what time it happened. And then we'll show them our system, and then it takes us 10 to 15 seconds to pull it up. And people are just blown away.
Wow.
And then they'll say, "But Danny, I never know what time it happened. It just happened like over the weekend, right?" That's typically what happens. I say, "Well, hey, how long does it take you to find that?" They said, "Well, dang, that could take me all day to like sit there and look through the video and like hit fast forward and try to find it." And then we'll pull up literally a live system, and we'll say, let's say we want to see whenever this car left, and we'll find it in like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, So and they're just blown away, at that technology. So that's to me, that's a big game changer. And people will say, well, dang, I wish I knew that this system was around 5 years ago whenever I bought this system, my other system. And I have to be the bearer of bad news and say that we've been using this system for almost 10 years. So it has been around. People just don't know about it. So we're trying to educate folks on the technology.
There was one time I've ever had to pull up my security cameras, and it's whenever a plant that's right outside my front door looked like it got chopped down. Like somebody took scissors to it and just like cut like everything in the pot. I'm not joking. I'm very, very happy that this is the only time. But my wife was like, what happened? Oh my goodness, what in the world happened? So I was like, I'm going to get down to this. I went down, I looked at the security cameras, there's an app on my phone, and it was the weirdest thing. It was there, and I don't know if the wind did it or what, or somebody broke in and edited the video and then uploaded it to the cloud. But it was like there, and then it wasn't. I was like, I don't know what happened, because I found the exact moment, like, well, it's obviously there, and now it's not. Mm-hmm. So I think Curt might have broke in, either cut it himself, edited himself out of the video.
I had no idea you had security cameras. There are things that I do around your house.
I know everything that goes on around my house, Curt. So
dang, I did not know this.
Except for, so it wasn't you. Okay, he cleared himself. It wasn't him that edited the video. It's someone else.
Okay.
You know that Louisville Slugger?
I do know the Louisville Slugger.
Yeah, you're gonna want to hit me with it. So did you see this bat? Did you hear us talking about this? See, it's really intimidating when you do. Doesn't that look intimidating? That's how we started today's show.
I like baseball, man.
Yeah, why are you holding it like that?
Because the other way is like this. Like, just to stay there. Like.
So this bat just came in on Friday, and take a look at. Can you show people here?
Yeah, I'll show our Facebook fam, and then I'll also show Mr. Danny Myers right there.
It says number one station.
So it must be true.
Wow.
We have the best radio station
in the world.
I was literally thinking about baseball bats last night, right? Because you think of security, right? A lot of people saying, hey, you don't have a gun. Well, a lot of people, honestly, one of the best things to have by your bed to sleep good at night is a baseball bat.
Something.
People will just stick it by their bed, whatever. Because if you grab something, you don't typically have your gun just laying out to grab, right?
Right.
So hey, grab a bat.
Yeah, anything. Yeah, and it's always good to have.
It scares me.
Have a plan in place. Something. If you hear something, if something happens, you just know. Like we have a security system in my house too, but there's like a panel in our room. There's one at the front at every door, so that way if we need to, you can hit that, or obviously call 911, and then have something to go knock Curt out if he tries to break into my house.
I'm not breaking into your house. house, I promise.
Well, not anymore. That there's a camera system.
Now that they're
Baseball bat.
you gotta watch out for that.
So that camera system, you said that thing happened at your front door. What was that? Was that the Ring or?
No, it's not a Ring. I actually had ADT, if I understand correctly, just purchased Protection One, and so it was Protection One system that I have, a security system, and then I have cameras all around the outside, and then on the inside there's these like a snapshot. If there's like a glass breakage or something like that, it ends up and you probably know more than I do about that. It'll end up doing like a snap,
Like a 10-second clip.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you bring up a good point, and here's the thing: if you have a camera system, make sure you're testing it. Make sure you're testing it at least once a month. Just record yourself doing something. You walk by, go back and make sure it's recording.
Yeah.
And make sure that it's also not glitching or cutting out. You'll have drop frames, things like that happen. If that's happening, you don't want it to happen. Murphy's Law says if it's going on, it's going to happen right when you don't want it to
when
happen.
you need it. When
right?
you need it the most.
And so
I feel like same thing applies for our technology. Apparently, when things go wrong, it just like spring rolls. Like, why a mouse doesn't work when the internet's not working? Like, how does that make any sense?
I don't know. Maybe God edited the video because he didn't want me to go take this baseball bat to figure out who Curt actually cut the plant.
It's so funny. Every time you pick up that bat and have it in the shot, like the numbers just go through the roof because they feel like you're going to do something.
It's different.
They're like,
everybody.
share it out because Gardy's about to need to lose it. This is when Gardy loses it and takes out his bat on anger on everybody.
No, maybe. So, hey, we're about out of time. We have Danny Myers in studio with Lighthouse Video Surveillance. Thank you for joining us. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Maybe remind people how to get a hold of you, anything at all?
now just go to Lighthouse Video Surveillance or lighthousevs.com for check us out.
All right, we appreciate you. Stay tuned to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. Whenever we come back, we're going to be talking about a sport. I'll let you guess which one it is.
It's not baseball.
It's
but
not
maybe
baseball.
maybe they could like letter a soccer or something for a soccer ball.
Get something printed on there like
a black
this.
soccer ball with gold lettering just like that, and then we could have the baseball next to the soccer ball.
It's a great
I mean,
idea.
is that possible?
I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. I'm not a mathematician or a scientist. I don't know.
I will tell you, I'm probably going to switch jerseys with the coach.
Okay.
You know, like that's what they do in soccer, right? Like you take your shirt off, give it to the other guy.
Oh, you're talking about
The jersey swap.
well, like so. I'm thinking of Dwayne Wade, like in basketball, like how
Yeah.
like this is their last season, and they kind of do like the picture at the end where they do a jersey swap.
But it started in soccer. At the end of every match, they give you like you trade
every match
jerseys.
they do that.
Yeah, at the end of every like major match,
We'll have to ask
the
him.
captains switch jerseys.
I don't know.
Hey, I got
about
one
all
thing
this.
you should check out. So you're talking about baseball bats. We have a video. We put it on LinkedIn. It's kind of a short video. We have a long version we'll release, but basically it's us taking a baseball bat to a bunch of different types of cameras to see what happens.
Really?
Yeah. So if you go to LinkedIn,
Don't give him ideas.
Yeah. go to LinkedIn.com and do a search for Lighthouse Video Surveillance and bat, or something like that, and I'm sure it'll pull up a video.
Awesome.
Of smashing cameras with bats to see.
That'd
what
be pretty fun to watch, but also kind of heartbreaking.
I would cry.
Like
It
the
was
cameras, it's like
kind of
it's good
expensive.
camera gear.
It was a little expensive, but hey.
How about in the
marketing.
future you just give me that camera gear and I'll use it appropriately? Always breaks my heart when I see those things.
This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. Taking a quick break. We'll come back talking soccer.
Let's go get.
What's up, folks? It was nice to meet you, Danny.
Good to meet you, man.
My putaco fell.
You hit
That's
it with
Danny
that baseball
Myers
bat.
with Lighthouse Video Surveillance. Hanging on to the baseball bat. It is always good to have a little bit of security around here. At this moment, I'm using this Louisville Slugger in case anything goofy goes on. But no, this is a really cool gift. Shout out to, Pastor Hallam. He actually got us this bat as well, and it's from the Louisville Slugger factory and museum over there in Kentucky. We were over there last week. There was some cool stuff going on. So I've been hanging out with this bat all morning. If you're wondering why does Gardy have a baseball bat? It's because it's awesome. And so we've been showing it off all morning. We're about to talk about soccer as we have been talking about video surveillance with Danny Myers. So let me know, what do you have going on today? What are you up to this week? How are you going to be spreading some positivity? We are excited. Curt, I don't know why he's outside the studio like I'm not like working in here. He's just over there trying to distract me, but hopefully you guys are having a good one. I appreciate you taking the time. It is Monday, so TGIM. We are stoked. We're excited that they're. Yeah, Curt should not be wearing that shirt. That doesn't look like it's his size. He's trying to put it on. Curt, that shirt's too. Oh man, Curt, that shirt is way too small. Yeah, that don't look right. But come on in. Our numbers are going to go crazy. People want to see. That's fun. Oh, man. That's very interesting. Here we go. Y'all are going to be able to see this. We're about to talk soccer. Curt's not leaving anything to the imagination this morning. It's all hanging out, as you will see.
Sir, this way. Yeah, this way. There you go.
Curt.
It is a little bit.
That shirt is about 10 sizes too small for you, man.
Here's the worst part. It's an XL.
Well, actually, they come small.
Well, apparently.
Is it a it's a
tank top? Yeah, it's a tank top.
Woo. Are you cold? What's going on? Hey, what's up, Facebook? Hey, what's your name?
Brendan Keys. Nice to meet you.
Brendan?
Yeah.
Keys?
Keys. Keyes.
Keys. Brendan Keys, and we're talking about some football. We're talking about soccer this morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself? Thanks for having us on.
So, League City, semi-pro. What's the difference between semi-pro and straight-up pro?
Well, Major League Soccer, the big one, all the players, getting paid good money, some of them millions, but most of them, 100, 150,000 a year, whereas semi-pro players, most of them don't get paid. It's a stepping stone to the pro level.
To the next level.
Yeah.
So, are you the coach? Do you play soccer? Like, tell us a little bit about what's the name of the club?
Celtic FC America is the name of the team. I'll rewind. I came to America in 1986 from Dublin, Ireland. That's where I'm from originally. I came here to play pro soccer and played with pretty much every pro team here in the Houston area. The Force, the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
And when I retired, I went into coaching, and I bought the Houston Hurricane franchise probably about 14 years ago. And going forward, just up until last season, I just changed the name from Houston Hurricanes to Celtic FC America. As you can see, my love.
Nice, yeah.
Celtic FC America is the name of the team now.
Is there a professional Celtic FC?
Oh, yeah. I mean, one of the biggest clubs in the world, best club in the world as far as I'm concerned. They play in Glasgow, Scotland. I grew up as a wee lad in Ireland, and, Celtic FC were my team growing up. They're a massive, massive club.
Awesome. Hey, if you're watching on Facebook, thank you so much. Share this video out. Let us know what you got going on. Celtic FC America, located right here in League City, right?
In League City, yeah, correct. We play at Clear Springs High School Stadium, so nice little stadium. Capacity is about 3,000. Perfect fit for us starting now.
That's awesome.
How long you guys have been playing in League City?
This is our first season, so we've only played 3 games. We're really unlucky this Saturday gone by. Probably had our best performance of the season. We were 2-0 up, 25 minutes to go. Ended up losing the game 3-2, a little hard on us. I thought we were the better team, but that's football. It goes like that, Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But we were short of players going into the game. We had a lot of injuries, so I had no bench. I only had 11 players. And in the heat, it was hard with the other team bringing off players off the bench, so that's what hurt us. If we had the extra 2 or 3 players, we'd end up winning the game.
So why didn't you call me up?
Hey, I should have, Curt.
I would definitely have gone in there and would have, roughed some people up.
What position would you have played?
I would definitely be the forward. I'd be the striker,
The glory hunter.
Is that the good position? That's like the person who scores, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I played professional, I was a striker. I was a goal scorer all my career. That's where I played.
Just call me Pele.
Just call you Pele. Actually, I met Pele in 1986. Here he came over. One of the pioneers of soccer in Houston, Peter Kane. He's an Englishman. Great guy. He's still around. He's in his 70s. Actually bumped into him at the gym a couple of years ago. He started professional soccer here in Houston. The original Houston Dynamo was owned by Peter Kane.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a comment. This is from Austin. Good morning, Austin. He said, ask Brendan about looking for his boots, and then he put in parentheses, cleats, with a lighter when he was a boy back in, is it Ballymun in Dublin?
Yeah, Ballymun. I knew Austin, would have to do something like that to me. He knows the crack. He knows the story on that one. I made up a story at the time. I was looking for my boots, to go play, to go train. But the real story, I was just messing about with matches and set the whole house on fire. So it was Austin, thanks a lot for that one.
So you're from Ireland. You said from Dublin, right?
I am from Dublin, yeah.
So is soccer, football, that's the sport in Ireland, or how does it go? What's the hierarchy?
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, in Ireland, Gaelic football is probably number one.
What is Gaelic football?
It's a game that's played. It's like a soccer ball.
Okay.
But you can use your hands. It's more like American football with the goals. They go up the side. You have the nets. If you score a goal, it's worth 3 points, and you kick it over the bar, it's 1 point. It's physical. It's a lot rougher than soccer. So people say, why don't the Americans call it soccer? I'll put my hand up and say, in Ireland, the footballers, we call it football. But as far as the Gaelic football, they will call it soccer.
Okay.
Because you have Gaelic football, you have hurling, and then you have soccer, and you have rugby, of course. But the Irish games are Gaelic football and hurling.
I'm a fan recently of MMA, and I think one of the best people to recently come out of Ireland is
McGregor.
Conor McGregor, the notorious Conor McGregor. Are you a fan?
Oh, yeah, of course. Conor is from Crumlin, which is where my dad's from. Tough part of Dublin, growing up in the streets. I'm sure he had many fights, and he got into boxing, and then before going to UFC.
Yeah, his story just coming up and backing it up. Just being able to talk. It's entertaining. The dude was out there. He coming from nothing almost, and then making it to the level that he has of wealth and family and security for forever.
Yeah.
His family's forever.
Story.
It's
Yeah.
very inspiring.
Yeah.
So shout out to Conor.
Yeah, McGregor. Only one.
So why did you end up coming and making the move from Dublin here to the States?
I came to play pro soccer. I mean, that's why I came over in 1986. Unfortunately, not just in Houston, but in the United States, soccer can come and go. Back in them days, it was a small sport. It's not up there with American football, baseball, or basketball, but it's really grown. So in 1986, if you had a pro team, it was the Dynamos. It lasted about 4 years. It folded. Then you had the Hurricanes. Again, it lasted, I think, 6-7 years. I played on the Hurricanes in USL Pro. And then you had a Force for about, I think, a year. They actually folded in the first season, but they played about 20 preseason games. So I played with all of them clubs, but hopefully this time Celtic FC America is here to stay in this League City area.
Awesome. So is there a schedule? Like, when do y'all play y'all's games? Celtic FC America, it's right here in League City, which is super close.
Yeah. We played 3 games already at home. We're on the road in Austin this Saturday, and then we play again on the road, but it's not far, Atletico KHEA. So I don't think we're back home till next month. I don't know the date offhand, but I know it's next month.
What do you think of the, I guess, atmosphere around soccer in America? Because every 4 years I become a huge soccer fan for the World Cup, but this year I probably it's the next year I probably won't be a big fan because the United States isn't in it. Does the success of soccer really truly depend on that United States soccer team being? I mean, because you look at women's soccer. They just won the World Cup.
Yeah.
For girls, it's huge.
Yeah.
But can we change that culture with the success of the U.S. national men's team?
Well, let me correct you. They're not out of the World Cup next time. They're waiting in the last World Cup.
The last one, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
But the one right now, the qualifying is going on, and I'm sure they're going to make it.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate they didn't make the last one. And to answer your question, yeah, it hurt, absolutely. That fan base, the kids that want to play 12, 13, 14, 15, they stop playing and go to other sports. Obviously, when you have success, it's good for the sport to grow all the way around.
Wow. So it's in League City. How many teams are like in the league that y'all play in? Like, how far do you have to travel?
Well, our division is the South Central. It's the Texas division. There's 6 teams. Next year we'll have 10 in that division, and then there's divisions going to start up in Virginia, Carolina, Louisiana. The goal is to have 32 teams in the Southeast regions.
Okay. And Curt was wondering, obviously, if he can try out for the team. But are y'all full, or do y'all need more people potentially?
No, listen, we definitely would like more players. So this is a shout out. If you think you got what it takes, we need to bring in some new players. I cut 6 players a couple of weeks ago for various reasons. Not fit, not committed, and just not making the grade. And then, like I say, last Saturday,
You say that I had to be fit.
Is that important?
Hey, you got to be on the run for 90 minutes. Soccer players do it for 90 minutes, right? That's the joke.
Can you run for
I
like
can go
9
90,
minutes?
but if it goes into overtime, that 91 minutes, like, no. No, sir.
No overtime or extra time, as we call it in regular season games, just in playoffs. But you definitely have to be fit to play the game, and we do need players. So a shout out if you want to try out, give me a call.
I know we got 2 minutes before we go on to the FM. So you're listening to KHEA Radio. We're live on Facebook. If you're watching, go ahead and share this video out.
Share it out.
Let people know. That's how we grow. We got about 10,000 likes here on Facebook because of people like you who tune in,
and Celtic FC America.
Yes, but I do have a couple of comments. First of all, James says, "Hey Brandon, give me that bat, bro." So he wants this bat, apparently, which, first of all, we just got this bat on Friday, and it says radio station number 1, KHEA Radio. But also number 2, I see Gwen says, "Hey, honey, looking great, but get rid of the gum."
Okay, baby, here you go.
I love it. If you got any questions for us or questions for Brandon, please just drop them in the comments. We love hearing from you. If you're tuning in, tell us where you're watching from. We'd love to learn about more of what you who you are and what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm sure you have some friends that are still, in Ireland, maybe even family as well. Are they able to root on the team from back there? They follow you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Hoops shirts are famous all over the world. That's another reason why I wanted to change the name to Celtic FC America. So we send shirts back home to Ireland, Scotland, all over the world, because people want to wear the Hoops. So
is that what it's called? The Hoops?
So, yeah, the nickname of the club. people call them the Boys, the Hoops, the Celts. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah. My wife, she's been to Ireland, and I have never been. I've been to Scotland, but I would love to go. Never gone before. Like, what can you expect? It's a different culture than here?
Oh, completely. I mean, everything is new here in the United States, and especially in Texas. All the big buildings. Where back home, you could have houses 200 and 300 years old. Like my mother's house. Well, my mom passed away about 7 years ago, and the house that she had in London was over 200 years old.
Wow.
So it's a different culture, different vibe over there. Just a lot older. But very cool. Worth going to see.
All right, we're gonna go on the FM right now. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy.
And I'm Curt.
It's 10:12, and we are excited. We're switching it up. We're talking about
Shark Week.
Well, Shark Week is going on. That is correct, and that's very important. And we're gonna be, figuring out what's going on with that.
I feel like the shark. Like, that would be my nickname if I was on the pitch. Like, I would be the shock. Like, people would be like, "Oh, not the shock. Not the shock. He's gonna score." No?
It's possible. I don't know. You played
Somebody
soccer
signed
growing
this guy up.
Talking alone, he has a job.
Man, I used to ref soccer when I was a little lad, Like,
oh, my gosh.
The Irish brogue is coming out now.
A little bit. No, when I was...
I'm going to use this bat on you.
We had a youth soccer league, and I loved playing soccer. That was like, in the fall. That was what I did on a Saturday, and I was like, I want to make some extra money, so I would ref. And then I started giving the little 6-year-old kids red cards, and they're like, we can't have a ref doing that.
Yeah. So we have Brendan Keys in studio, and Brendan, what do you have going on? I like your you said it's a hoop, like the hoops?
Yeah, the hoops, the design for the shirt, the hoops.
Okay,
so that's
I got
the kind
you.
of nickname for the team, the Hoops, the Celts, the Boys.
Yeah. So what's the name of the team? Where are you guys located, and how can somebody go and watch and support?
Okay, Celtic FC America is the name of the team, and we play at 501 Palomino Lane. It's Clearprinks High School Stadium in League City.
All right, and this is a soccer team, right? It's a semi-pro soccer team.
It is, yeah.
Y'all travel and have a league that y'all participate in.
Correct. We play in it's called USSL Pro. Our division is in Texas, but the league is all over the Southeast. And, right now we're traveling to Austin, Dallas, San Antonio. We play in New Orleans in preseason games. We'll go as far as Florida, Mississippi, places like that.
And you're from Dublin, Ireland.
I am indeed. Great country.
Yeah, and you moved here in the 80s to play soccer pro.
1985, 86, I came over here.
What was that switch like? Moving from Ireland in the '80s, coming to America. What kind of switch? Like, what were your first thoughts? You're like, hey, I like it here, or like, it's gonna take some getting used to.
Well, it was always a dream of mine to come to America. When I was a little kid, I used to watch all the TV shows and all that stuff. You guys will laugh at me when I say this, but Dallas was so huge back in Ireland. Everybody would watch it.
Yeah.
So it was a dream come true. When I landed in Texas, it was so different than anything I'd ever seen before. So it was amazing. I loved it. Fell in love with the place right away, and I just said, I want to stay here. I don't want to go back. As much as Ireland's a beautiful country, I like the lifestyle here in Texas. I really do.
Yeah, you were mentioning that a lot of things are like older. Like it's a 200. It's a village almost. We actually had there was two girls who, whenever I was like in junior high, they lived in our house. They were moving down here for school, and so they stayed at our house. But they were both from Ireland, and they would try. And I grew up in Lamarck, so it's like a 5-minute drive from here where we're at today. But they're like, oh, I'm just gonna walk to the church. I'm like, you can't walk up and down I-45. They're like, no, it's not that far. It's only like 5 miles. I do this all the time back home in the village or whatever they call it. It's just a different vibe.
It is, yeah. I mean, my dad came over here, and the same thing. He'd be walking up and down. People were stopping, asking him, "Are you okay?" Because they wasn't used to people walking around.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of paths in Houston area, but in Ireland, there's paths for everybody to walk around.
Cool.
It's a little different.
Our Pastor Walter Hallam, loves going to Ireland. He's been a bunch, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, he started going in the '80s as well, just like ministering, and he has some Irish roots. If you looked at him, you'd be like, yeah, you can tell, just by looking at him. But yeah, Ireland, it's a beautiful country. I haven't had the opportunity to go. I would love to. Do you get to go back often?
I do. I go back pretty much every year. In fact, my wife and I are going to go back. We're trying to get tickets to a Celtic Rangers game. It's a tough game to get tickets to. I believe it's right New Year's, just before New Year's. And that's in Scotland. So we'll stop in Ireland for a week and maybe in Scotland for 5 days. It's beautiful.
Okay, so if someone's never been to a Celtic FC Americas, match, what can they expect when they show up?
It's high level, it is high level soccer game. I mean, it's the 4th division, level 4 in America. You have MLS, which is the top level, USL 1 and 2, and then us. And there's other leagues at that 4th level, like MPSL also. It's $10 to get into the game. Kids are free with a paid adult ticket. Anybody in CCISD is also free, or any registered kid that plays in the Bay Area with any club is free into the games. So we want to encourage all families to come out. The games are usually on a Saturday, early afternoon, 2:45 kickoffs. Come on out and have a great time and watch some good football.
And when you're up 2-0 and then ended up losing 3-2, it's got to be fun for the fans, right? It's like, oh no!
It was a great game against a team that were unbeaten. So going into it, it was always going to be a tough game, but we dominated the match. We were 2-0 up, like I say, with about 25 minutes to go. But the guys got fatigued and we had no bench. We had 11 players in that game. In fact, I had my goalkeeper, because I had 2 goalkeepers in that 11, and one of my goalkeepers played on the field. So, they had a big advantage having 18 players where they had, 7 guys on the bench. They can bring guys off the bench and give them a breather. It was 95 degrees. It was hot out there.
Do you ever just get the itch, or do you go out there and be like, give me my shin guards, give me my boots, I'll do it myself. We're going to win this game.
I did. Someone said to me, Coach, did you bring your cleats with you? And I didn't. Unfortunately, I'm not registered to play, and I'm 55 years old now. I'd probably get hurt if I went down there by them young guys. They're just whizzing by. So
or you teach them, this is how you do it. It's 50-50.
Well, I'm doing that in practice twice a week. But, we got a good team. We'll come back. This is going to be a good learning experience for these guys. It's the first time they've played at national level, where all of these other teams, they've played at national level before. My team is the youngest team in the league. So next season, we'll be good.
I play FIFA all the time. I love playing video games, right? It's so much fun. And I actually I play with the Houston Dynamo, and I've gotten so good that I'm the best with the Houston Dynamo, and everyone's like, "Who you play with?" I'm like, "Houston Dynamo," and they're like, "Dude, you don't even play, like, come on." And they're listing all the Europe teams. I'm like, "No, I go over there and I beat them with the Houston Dynamo." But
that's impressive.
I've gotten really good where I had to trade for all the good players, and I'm like, so like I've had to spend a lot of money to make the Houston Dynamo good, but they're good.
Yeah, the best player. Who's generally considered the best soccer player in the world?
Pele. Pele used to be.
Yeah, Pele. It's arguable. Pele in his time definitely was the greatest soccer player. But today, I'd say I'd have to go with Messi for me, personally.
Is
I think he
really-
has it all. You know, he's got the best skills. He's a team player. He brings all his teammates into the game. And he doesn't shout and say he's the best, you know, unlike another player I know, Ronaldo.
I was going to say, he's probably the biggest ticket item, I guess, isn't he? He makes the most money.
Yeah, well, I think Messi is actually the highest paid. Ronaldo probably makes more money because, you know, the looks and all that off the field marketing. But Messi is the highest paid and the best. In my opinion, he's the best player.
Our soccer players are, I think, like the highest paid.
He's on $1 million. He's on $1 million a week. Messi a week.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
We were talking about that little 6-year-old who was making $3 million a month just from like YouTube.
YouTube toy unboxing.
You
Yeah,
know,
doing
but
all
he's
the-
making $1 million a week.
Yeah.
I went into the wrong field. I went into radio where we make no money a week. Dang! I should have been in soccer. Is there still a chance?
For you, no.
He didn't even think about it. Did you see that? That's ridiculous.
You know,
This interview's over.
Stick to the video game.
FIFA. You can live your dreams in FIFA.
Are there a way to watch the games, like live streamed or online or radio?
Yeah, some of the teams that we played against, you know, came in and videoed live stream. We will probably do the last 2 games. We've only got 2 more games at home. So we'll do the last 2 games live stream.
How do we get those on our Facebook page? Because I feel like that would be a lot of fun, or like even have like a radio play-by-play of the soccer match.
Why don't you guys come out and do it? That'd be great. We should have you do a live game.
I would try, but I would butcher it because I don't know all the link. Kurt would be like, and the lad has the ball in the foot and the goal. I could do the goal. Like,
Goal!
it would be so much fun. There's so much passion in those commentators.
They're
There's so
good.
much passion in the players after they score.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, the Hispanic commentators, to me, they're the best. You know, they have the passion for it. And then, of course, the commentators back home. The Americans are still learning the game and all that. It's just like when I go home and watch the NFL in Europe, I'm like, man, these guys are clueless. You need to have the American commentators for the NFL.
If
'cause
you're
they know
not
what
if
they're
you're not talking about the pitch, I mean, are you really even a commentator? Come on, come on.
See, I don't even know what that means.
The pitch is
but I
the
want to
field.
learn.
Yeah,
Right? The pitch is
see
the
you on the
field.
pitch. If you call up actually your number at the end of the message, it tells you see you on the pitch when you call the league office. So at the end of the message, it's like, see you on the pitch.
Hey, I like that.
See, KHEA Radio. See you on the pitch.
That's
Hey,
cool.
that's pretty good.
See,
He's been practicing on it all morning.
I've been waiting. I've been waiting for this opportunity to show off my soccer knowledge.
Yeah, it's 10:22. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. We're streaming on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, thank you. Let us know. Have you heard of Celtic FC America? Have you been to one of the soccer matches? Share this video out. That's the most important thing. And then also do some reacts and tag a friend so that way we can let as many people know as possible. You can watch some semi-pro soccer here in League City, Texas.
I want to know where people are watching from. So drop kind of in the comments where are you watching from, because we want to know who's tuning in, who's watching, where you watching from. Drop a location below. I just want to see where everyone's listening from, because soccer is, you know, if you're talking about like American football, right? Like American football is only for American, you know, and basketball, yeah, there's people who play, but again, it's mainly an Americanized sport.
It's growing.
Soccer is probably, when you look at it, the world sport.
That's
where
the world sport.
everybody
It
plays
is,
it.
without a doubt. More people watch our game than any other game in the world. It's the number one. I mean, the World Cup every 4 years it's the most watched sporting event in history.
How old is soccer? It's been going on for a long time. I don't even
Our
know.
club at Celtic was founded in 1888, but I don't know. There's an argument there of who founded the game. The Brits claim they founded it.
Of course, yeah.
Being an Irishman, I don't really want to go agree with that. And some of the Chinese said they were playing it before them, so I think the English put claim to it.
So everybody kind of is like, well, we started it, and
Yeah.
you know, it's a cool game. It's a cool game, and what's easy about it is, well, there's nothing easy about it, but you can play with just a ball. You just need a field and a ball. You don't have to have a lot of money. Baseball, it gets expensive. You know,
Yeah, all the year. I mean, soccer can as well, but like you say, I think out of 4 sports here, it is the cheapest to play for the kids. For
yeah,
sure.
to get started, you just need a ball and some friends and a passion, and you can work at it and make it to the highest level if you have the dedication, the genetics, and, you know, things fall in order.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that, speaking of, you know, kind of like a world sport, you know, what's next for you guys? Where, you know, this is the first season, but do you have plans for the future, and what does that plan look like?
Well, yeah, I mean, I started off, I didn't tell you about this. I started off in the Texas Premier Soccer League 7 years ago. I actually started the league. I owned the league. I was the president of the league. And I took it as far as I, basically could. There was 8 teams in that division. And I brought in a couple of partners, guys that know the game, local businessmen. Ricardo Alacron, one of my buddies. He's from Bolivia, and Alberto Escobar. And these guys came in with me in the TPSL in the last season, and we decided that we wanted to do a national league. And that's where USSL BERT became about. So this is our first season. I am actually the president of the league we play in. And we have the vice president, Escobar, and then the CEO is Alacron.
Okay. So. Hey, I've seen a couple people say this, but they're saying "hail, hail." Is that like one of y'all's, like a chant or something y'all have?
It's on the back. No, it might be not on the back of this one, but it's on your shirt I gave you. Hail, hail! I'm on the hoops. I'm on the hoops, boys.
There's some the hoops.
Yeah, there you go. You see, it's on the shirt that I gave him.
Cool. So this is one of the jerseys. That's a tank top version of that jersey right there. Celtic FC America.
And if I put this on and run out onto the pitch, are you going to let me play?
Nah. You just don't look like you have the physique to do it. Sorry, man.
What kind of shape do you have to be in to be able to play soccer? He's used to it. He's okay.
I'm okay with this. I'm okay.
To play soccer at this level, at the highest level, you got to be in extremely good shape.
Yeah, like I just said a few moments ago, I cut some players who weren't dedicated. I was telling them to do some running outside of the practices we had to get in shape, and they didn't, so they got cut from the team. You have to be in top shape to play at this level.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the 4th division level in the United States, and you got to be fit to go 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And you can tell, I'm sure, like at practice, of like, hey, obviously they haven't been putting that extra work in,
yeah.
And maybe we're not for you. Because there's
exactly.
other people that are probably itching for an opportunity.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty. I mean, at the beginning, the tryouts, we probably had 300 kids try out overall over the different tryouts, and you narrow that down to about 40, and then getting close to preseason, maybe 28.
Yeah.
And then 22 is the number you want. We're actually small now. We've only got 16 players, small squad. So we want to bring in 6 players if anybody's interested in trying out.
Cool. Hey, has the city of League City, or even, I guess, the school district allowing y'all to be able to use that soccer stadium, have they been pretty cooperative with you guys?
Yeah, Clear Springs has been great. I mean, I love the stadium. I mean, it is expensive for me because I'm the one who has to come up with the funds to play there as the owner of the team. But, yeah, they've been fantastic. I mean, it's the first season in there, so it's going to take time to build and get out there in the League City area and get sponsors and stuff like that. I think I told Curt this, might have been you, but I bought some land in Lamarck about 3 years ago, 9 acres in Bayou Park. And the plan was to build my own soccer complex in there. And at the time, Tillman Fertitta, who owns the Rockets now, he was sponsoring my team every year for 6 years. The team I had, the Hurricanes, before that. But we moved. And when we moved, I guess, we were in Galveston originally. Went from Galveston back to Houston, and now back to the League City area. Different name of teams. There was Galveston Pirates when I started, Houston Hurricanes, and now Celtic FC America. So 3 different names. But, I guess he's busy with the Rockets now, so he's not doing anything.
Well, let's go ahead and give him a call. Let's put him on Bluetooth, and we can call Mr.
Get him on there
Fertitta.
and tell him to write a check.
Yeah, Mr. Fertitta, let's do some big stuff.
We get a finder's fee for that, right? And,
I just want to say hi and shake his hand.
I'm
I'm
$4
good.
million that he's gonna give. I just want $1 million.
Well, he bought the Rockets for $2 billion.
Yeah,
so
he's loaded. But he was great to us, man. He looked after us for like I say 6 years. We used the hotel, the Holiday Inn Resort down there when the teams came in to play us.
Yeah,
we'd put them up, and it was good.
So do you still own that land in Lamarck?
I do.
Is there future plans? Is that the potential for that?
Honestly, I have it for sale right now because what happened was a major sponsor. I bought that land on the promise of this sponsor coming in, and it didn't go through for me. I'm not going to say who because I don't know.
Sure.
But it didn't come true, and hey, I'm a working guy.
Yeah.
I have a dream. I mean, if I was trying to make money, I'd do something else. I do this because I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's my passion. It's my love. And I just don't have deep enough pockets to develop that by myself.
Is it over? You said Bayou Park, like
It's
Highland
actually
Bayou Park?
Yeah, it's in Bayou Park behind Ron Hoover.
Oh, yeah.
See, Ron Hoover, it is a shout out for you there.
Yeah, I know exactly where that is. I'm going to go look. Yeah. Curt, buy that land. Let's take the land or develop the team. Let's build a stadium.
I'll give you a deal on it, Curt. You got the money?
He'll let you.
I work in radio.
Does he get
first
to be
of
on the
all.
team? He's like,
I'll trade you. I'll buy the land if I could be on the team. It's a lose-lose situation for you. but-
oh man. So right now it's 10:29. This is KHEA Radio.com 99.5 FM. We're speaking to Brendan Keys, Celtic FC America and League City, doing some really cool things, some big things. If you want to get involved, maybe you want to watch them play. When is the next time that y'all are going to be out there in League City?
You put me on the spot. The website has all the schedule on there. It's www.celticfcamerica.com. Maybe you can look it up for me real quick. But the website has the schedule. I want to say it's September. Let me see. September 3rd, maybe?
September
Is the
3rd?
next- is
Okay.
it? That the next game?
So Celtic
Can you look it up?
FC, what's the website one more time?
It's the. Sorry, go ahead with that.
Yeah, it's CelticFCAmerica.com. I know the next 4 games we're away. We're on the road. This Saturday we're away in Austin. Then we're away again in Houston.
Okay.
Atletico Katy. So I want to say the next.
August 31st. Does that sound right?
Yeah. And then again the week after that, right? We play back-to-back home games, the last 2 games.
I've only seen the August 31st one. I'm sorry.
All right.
He's an expert soccer player on FIFA. Not that good at reading schedules, navigating websites.
Well,
We're
just-
still working on that part.
Just so you know, if you're on there, the home team is always the first team. So if you see a second, that means we're away.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool. Hey, what are some misconceptions I think that maybe generally Americans have about soccer that the rest of the world sees, but maybe America hasn't really opened up to it yet?
Well, like he was saying earlier on, like Curt said, American soccer, the women are the best in the world. I think they've won 3 World Cups. And I think the reason for that is because they started before women's soccer around the world. Soccer in Ireland, a friend of mine, Noam Hall, he's actually coming over. He's in his 80s now. He coached the women's Irish national team. And he's coming over at the end of August. And he's going to help me out for a couple of weeks with the team. And some of the stories he was telling me about, soccer back then, women's soccer, it was terrible. They had no money. They couldn't travel. They had to do fundraisers. Where in America, they're backed. I mean, even though they're complaining about not getting backed, they get backed more than any other soccer team, women's soccer team in the world.
Yeah.
But as far, here, I mean, there's so many options for kids to play. You got baseball, you got basketball, you got football, you got hockey, and then you got soccer. I mean, me personally, soccer is the best game in the world, but I love NFL. I love baseball. Baseball was my first love. When I came to America, I fell in love with baseball.
Really?
I used to go to all the Astros games.
Yeah.
I name all them players even right now. I mean, I loved it. The NFL, it took me a long time to get into. But baseball, I loved. It's my favorite American sport.
So baseball's your favorite American
Oh,
sport?
without a doubt.
Were you able
Yeah.
to follow when the Astros, was that 2017
Yeah,
with that World Series?
I was there.
It's a blast.
I actually remember we were playing a game in Houston against the Dutch Lions, and they had this really cool bar. Afterwards, we went back and watched the game, the Astros. It was unbelievable, the atmosphere. It was fantastic.
It's just different, and they're putting together a season. They started out hot, and Carlos Correa came back, hit his first career Grand Slam, and then I think they dropped one. But they got a great team, and they're still young, and they got some great players. So it's exciting to see and be a part of and watch.
If you want to sponsor the team, how does somebody do that? Because I just dropped a link for the sponsor, but how can somebody sponsor the team and be a part of it and help support you guys?
Yeah, I mean, all the information is up on the website, but they can contact me directly. I'm more than happy to meet with them, bring them a sponsorship package. Like Mike Diaz, shout out to Mike Diaz, one of the best lawyers around. He's on the front of the shirts. He's our title sponsor. Like we had Holiday Inn Resort on there. Dr. Keith Schauder. Dr. Keith Schauder was great for us. His son played on my team. So he sponsored for a number of years. Guys in Sports, who do our kits, absolutely fantastic. My own Key Sportswear. So if I'm missing anybody, I'm sorry, guys. But, it's been great. We've had some backing over the years, but we definitely need more. I mean, it's not easy to run a minor league soccer team. It takes a lot of money. And so we do need help.
Yeah. I've seen the soccer jerseys, the kits that they all over the world, like even the big leagues where, in Europe or here or wherever, they got the sponsors on it.
Right.
And then basketball, like maybe a year or two ago, actually 2 years ago, they opened it up to like, hey, maybe they're on to something.
Yeah.
Let me sponsor this jersey for however long.
Right.
So, but that's pretty standard in soccer, right?
Yeah, till you mentioned it, I didn't realize that about baseball. They never had sponsors on the shirt till recently. But you see some of the Mexican leagues and there's sponsors all over the shirts.
Covered
I don't
up
like
and
that.
down.
I don't
Yeah.
like that. I mean, I think there should be a limit, 2 or 3 sponsors on the shirt. But I'd like to have them 3 sponsors.
Yeah,
on
give me
there.
those 3. Yeah. No, I feel you
Like
on that.
front, back, and maybe one on the sleeve. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
That's where basketball's headed, right? Like basketball's thinking about it, right?
Basketball has one sponsor. 2 years ago, the Rockets, the first year, they didn't have one. Then last year, they had it's actually called Rocket, ROKIT. And they're put right there. It's a little rocket, but it's the exact same colors as the Rocket, so it kind of blends in better than some of the other ones. Like the LA Clippers is Bumble, and so it says straight up Bumble, like on the Los Angeles Clippers jersey.
That Texaco, when the drivers at the end are talking like the DuPont, Chevrolet, team,
Yeah.
where they're just like listing off I can't even like think of all of the sponsors that they usually have.
For
but it's
NASCAR?
like,
You're
yeah,
talking
for
about-
NASCAR.
yeah.
They're like
It's ridiculous.
the DuPont Chevrolet that's sponsored by Formula One racing, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, stop.
That's pretty
Stop.
big in Texas, the racing, the drag racing and the Formula One and all that. I like that myself.
Yeah, well, we were at Bay Area Raceway, which is in Dickinson, racing go-karts this past weekend, and Curt was acting like he was on the NASCAR racetrack.
They
Wrecking
wrecked
people.
me. They wrecked me. They knew that because I was gonna win. Okay, first of all, I was pretty good. I'm a pretty good race car driver.
Of course,
But
the
then
best.
They teamed up.
Like
The
FIFA.
3 of them came at me and bam, like hit me in the back, and I was like, and it shook me.
Yeah.
It shook me.
He was shook to the core.
I was shook to the core.
You ever
and
go
then
out to Baytown to the drag racing out there?
the Baytown, there's
drag
the
racing.
purple Heart Raceway, right?
I don't know what it's called, but the dragsters. The
Oh,
proper
it's
dragsters.
awesome. The NHRA goes there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I've been one time. I need to get Gardy out there because I think he'd have a blast with that.
And after you saw me on Saturday,
I feel like you got it.
I might have what it takes. This is a comment from James Williams. He said, hey, ask Brendan about the 67 on his shirt. What's up with the 67?
Yeah, well, I wear the number 67. It's when Celtic won the European Cup. It's now called the Champions League, 1967. So, I'm the only one, the head coach, who wears number 67. That's the reason for that. The actual team, the Celtic team that won that, it'll never happen again. All the players came within 20, 30 miles of Paradise, of Celtic Park.
Yeah.
We call it Paradise. So, yeah, that's why I wear it. That's the 67 is
Hey,
for that.
the numbers that soccer players have, does it go by position or does it go by like, hey, you're the best player, you get this number? Obviously the coach, you get your pick, like, hey, 67 for
Yeah,
this.
in the old days, actually, it used to be like just 1 to 11. So number 1 was the goalkeeper, 2 be right full back, 3 be left full back, 4 be in the center, 5, 6, 7, 8 midfielder, 10, 11 forwards. But now it's all players just wearing whatever number they want. Some guys wearing 47, 58. So it's
99, doesn't matter.
It's gone a little crazy. Now I prefer, I guess, the old style where it was just 1 to 11, and then your bench should be 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you said you were a forward? Is that what you're a striker?
I was
Whenever
a
you play?
striker. When I came over, I played. I was number 20. I wanted number 9 because a striker, like I said, the old days number 9. But the owner of the Hurricanes, Joey Sorrelta, good friend of mine. So Joey, shout out to you if you're listening. And I got number 20. And we used to play at Butler Stadium, some games at Delmar Stadium back in the 90s when I was playing. And it was fun. We used to have 500 to maybe 1,000 fans at the Houston games.
Wow.
But away from home, it was great. You could, you go play in Chicago and have 20,000 fans at the game.
What's that like, playing in front of that many people?
It is. It's a buzz. I mean, it really is. So that's why Texas was kind of, way behind in soccer, but it's caught up now. You go to a Dynamo game now, and you can have 22,000 fans packed into the new stadium downtown.
And they have the ladies team as well, the
Yeah,
Dash.
the Dash. Yeah, James Clarkson is the head coach of the Dash. It's great. I'm happy for James. I know James well because my team would play against the U23 Houston Dynamos in friendly games. And that's another thing we're going to set up. We're going to, Celtic FC America, we're going to set up a preseason game against the Dynamo U23 team. So if we have that at Clear Spring Stadium, I'm hoping we can get about 1,000 fans at that game.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be a great time.
Yeah.
With this being a newer team, so Celtic FC America being a newer team, let's say like 3 years from now, you have some players that make the step and they end up going to one of the higher leagues. Would that be like a good feeling, or being like, I need my good players?
I do it all. I'm an agent as well, so
There you go.
Yeah. I have players that've already went on to play in the pros. I've been doing this for 30 years here in Houston, so I've represented probably over 100 players. But in the last 7 years, at least one player from my team has went on to the big time, to the pros.
Wow.
So it happens. Last year was the first time that we didn't have a player go from the team to the pros. So hopefully this year we can get somebody again to go.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So it's 10:39. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. We're excited. We're talking to Brendan Keys about Celtic FC America right here in League City, Texas. If you are a fan of soccer, maybe you're a fan of watching sports at the highest level, there is something available for you right here in our backyard. I had no idea. Curt mentioned it to me. How did you even stumble across this?
He called me Saturday morning and was like, "Hey, is this KHEA Radio?" It's like somebody who, I don't know who you said.
James gave me your number. He's a friend. James, what's his last name? He's gonna kill me now.
Vickery?
Williams?
The chef, James the chef.
Oh, Chef James.
Yeah.
From, in Texas City.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does some cool stuff
Yeah, he's a great guy, man.
often.
Yeah, he said like, "Hey, I want to see if you guys could promote my game." And I
Definitely.
was like, "Yeah, we can easily." So I found the graphic and I said, "Hey, why have you on the phone? Let's schedule you in to be a guest on our show."
I appreciate it.
And now I think you and I need to honestly sit down and figure out, is there a way? Because I would love it. I mean, it would be a little bit of work, or find out maybe we can get intern Eldritch to do some
Elder's like, sure. Yeah.
some videoing
That'd be
of
fun.
doing some live streaming, where we set up a few cameras with our gear or something and figure out if that's something we can do.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I think video, like at this level, because you have to have a passion to be able to do this at any level, but then to make it to, Celtic FC America, you're not getting paid, $1 million a week like some of the players are. So you have to really love it, and you have to work your tail off, I'm sure, to be able to stay at that level and hopefully move. That would make like good reality TV for sure.
Yeah.
You got to have the passion for it. So how has soccer changed from the 80s, whenever you came over and were playing professionally, to today?
Oh, it's like night and day. The level has gone up as well because you have better coaching. The Americans know how to coach the game better. The coaching clinics are better. The courses, are much improved from back in the day when I took my coaching course, the American one I'm talking about, in, I want to say 1995 in University of Tampa. And in all honesty, at the time, to me, the course wasn't that good.
Yeah.
It really wasn't. 'Cause after especially doing the course back in Ireland, I just thought the guys giving it the course didn't know what they were doing. But you go take a course now with USSF, and it's fantastic. There's great people involved at the top all the way down. So it's getting better. It's growing. So the soccer education, that's the most important thing. If you're getting taught by the wrong people right from the beginning, it's no good for the game. But if you have the right coaches involved, and still in some clubs, even in MLS, there's some coaches in there that really shouldn't be. And you got a lot of guys that are more qualified that don't ever make it to the top because it's who you know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's the way it is sometimes.
Wow.
Who's the best player on your team?
Uh-oh.
Oh, man, you put me on the spot.
I am.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not leaving until you answer and say my name.
Well, definitely, probably the most technical player would be Andy Garcia. He's a midfield player, great kid. And he does a lot off the field as well. He works really hard. So I would have to say him, just because all around he wants it. He wants to be a pro player. I actually sent him up to a USL pro team last season, and one of my other players won. Two of them went up there, and neither one of them make it. One was going to get offered a contract, but he got injured. He tore his ACL in the last game, and they were calling me the whole weekend. They were saying, "This guy's great. He scored in the first game. He scored in the second game. He scored in the third game. The fourth game, they even won 1-0. He scored a goal again, and then in the 90th minute, he tore his ACL." So they said, keep in touch, but you know how that works out. Now, Andy, I don't know if it was nerves or what, but I'll do it again for Andy because he gives everything on the field 100%. He works hard off the field. Just a great kid all the way around.
Hey, this is a comment from Maximo. He said, hey, watching from Prague, Czech Republic.
Great guy. He used to play with me, Max. Hey, Max, how you doing? Shout out to you. And his brother Mickey, who lives in this area. They're from this area right here.
That's cool.
Yeah, Max is a good guy.
So you've had the opportunity to, I'm sure, play with and meet and go all over the world because of the sport.
Yeah, I've been over to India many times. I coached in Thailand for a year. But it's been mainly here in the United States. I went back to Ireland, did some coaching courses, Scotland and England and all over the UK.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's been fun.
Here's another comment. This is from Paul. He said, hey, do you sell the green and white hoop shirts? Y'all sell those?
Yes, of course, always. Yes. Who's it from, Paul?
Paul McCutch. I don't know. I don't want to butcher the name.
Oh, yeah.
McCutcheon?
So I shared, right before I came in here, I shared in a bunch of the Celtic groups.
Yeah.
So shout out to all the boys back home in Scotland and Ireland and wherever you are. Yes, we sell the hoop shirts. Yeah,
Cool.
get in touch with me.
When is the Celtic FC America going to make the journey to Ireland to go play?
That's a great question. We talked about that actually last week. We tried to take the Hurricanes there. It never did come off. I would love to take Celtic FC America to Glasgow or to Dublin or to both and play games. And we do want to do that. Obviously, it takes maybe 50K,
Yeah.
50K to pull it off. But, yeah, that would be a dream to do that.
That'd be cool. So the people that are currently on your team, are they having to work or maybe go to school, full-time jobs, part-time? What are they doing?
Yeah, all of that. A lot of them are still in school. Like I say, I have a young young squad, and so from 16 up. In fact, I signed a 14-year-old kid that came into the team. So he's the youngest player in the league.
Are you serious?
Incredible, yeah. Noah.
You got to be really, really good at 14, right?
Yeah, he's a good kid. Works hard. He does some one-on-ones with me as well. I do one-on-one training, so that's all I do for a living to make my living every day.
Yeah.
You have an academy too. Can you talk about the academy?
Yeah. So if you look on the top I just gave you, Celtic FC America, it was the Houston Celtic, started in 1992, and it was an academy program. One of the guys that started it off, Jimmy Hunter, he's passed away now. I'm building like they're both gone. Rest in peace to both of them. And a guy called P. Sullivan and myself, four of us were in Jimmy's bar at the time. And we were talking about getting a men's Celtic team. They had a men's Celtic team at the lower level in Houston in a league called HFA, a really great league. They've got 10 divisions. And the three of them got together and they said, if we do the Celtic thing, we got to sign Brendan Keys. At the time, I was probably about 28. And I was playing with the Hurricanes in the pros. So in the off-season, they said, come play on the Celts. So I did. And they brought me in, and that's how we started Celtic FC America back in 1992, as you can see with the crest. And we grew from there. And I have the academy program. I've always had an academy program, but the names have changed from time to time. But it's been Celtic FC America since 1992.
Oh, I saw that on the crest right there.
Yeah.
Even whenever I know it's not the same, but this is the closest I've ever been to Ireland. In Scotland, there was like all the family crests and the colors, and that means like a lot. And I'm guessing to the Irish as well, right? Because that green, that's exactly what I think of. I see the crest, it just really screams.
I don't know if you guys know anything about the history of Celtic, but Celtic it's a Scottish club, but it was founded by an Irish Catholic priest, Brother Wilford. So it's people say, well, is it Irish or is it Scottish? It's kind of both. It was, like I say, founded by an Irish Catholic priest for the Irish migrants who went over to Scotland. The Rangers, the Protestants, they didn't like the Catholics. So Celtic is a Catholic club, and I've kind of kept that tradition going here. But we don't care what you are. Anybody is welcome to come play in our team. Just have a good soul.
How do you feel about the Boston Celtics taking that
Love
name?
them.
Is that your team that you would like?
Ask, who's better, Boston Celtics or Celtics FC America?
Well, it's either basketball or football.
But if you had to root for a team in the NBA, I'm guessing you kind of pull.
Okay, look, this is good, right? Here we go, right? So when I came to the States, obviously, like most Irish people, they're going to go with the New York, the Boston, Chicago teams, right? So I love Boston Celtics. It was a big Larry Bird back in them days.
Oh, yeah.
And all them guys. They were a great team. But I'm always going to cheer for the hometown team. Now, I know you guys are going to give me a hard time now. I love the Patriots. Before I came, before I came here. So before Brady and all of that, it was always the Patriots. But, of course, I've lived in Texas all my life. So I'm going to be with the Texans, the Astros, and the Dynamo as well, and obviously Celtic FC America.
So maybe Mr. Fertitta, if you're listening, maybe tag
And the
him, call
Rockets.
him, and the Rockets. So we're
Sorry.
definitely cheering for you. They made some big moves, but man, yeah, sports is a great way for young people to stay active, get outside. It's summertime. Maybe you have some kids and they're looking for some one-on-one training. Maybe you want to take it to that next level. This is an opportunity for you, check out and inspire your kids. Take them to a game right here in League City and then follow their dreams.
So the next one that's going to be home is August 31st at 2:45. I had the schedule up earlier. Man, why did I close it? Eldridge, you got to do better than that, man. You got to
I think
make
it's
sure.
the week after as well. I think it might be back to back.
Yeah, it's the 7th. So the Saturday the 31st is against WH the Guelas.
West Houston Aguileras.
Yeah, and then the next Saturday the 7th is at 4:30, and you guys are taking on Austin Real C.
Yeah, they're a good team, good club, Austin.
Is there a team that is generally like, hey, that's our rivals, or that's the team to beat?
Austin.
It's Austin?
Yeah, because Austin was in the Texas Premier Soccer League with me for years. They actually won it 3 years in a row. So shout out to Coach Kuko. That's a remarkable achievement. But even though he knows this season, he got his first win Saturday. He had a big win, 5-0 against West Houston Aguileras in Austin. It's a different level. USSL is a level up from TPSL, from the 5th division to the 4th. So it's tough.
Is there a sport in Ireland that has grown, like maybe even an American sport? Like, what's the most popular American sport over there?
Basketball.
It's basketball?
Yeah, everybody plays basketball. Nobody really would know anything about NFL. I mean, being honest. Of course, if they're going to go over there, they tried that World Football League, and it never worked out.
Right.
But if you're going to bring over 2 NFL teams, say, to London, which they do, people are going to go see it. It's going to be a sellout. Just like when I went to see Real Madrid, Bayern Munich here.
Mm-hmm.
It's over 60,000 fans at the game. When you bring in the big boys, then you're going to, people are going to come in. If you bring Celtic over, it'll be sold out.
Yeah.
Because people want to see that level team. MLS is still growing. It's still building. The Dynamo sometimes don't sell out the games. I went to a game. There was only 14,000 fans at the game, home game. I was disappointed, to be honest.
It's a nice stadium, though, BBVA.
Beautiful stadium.
Yeah.
And they've got a good team. The Dynamo have got a good team. So, get out and support them as well. Get out and support your local team.
I went to one Dynamo. I've only been to one Houston Dynamo game. I went with one of my coworkers. He and I had a great time, had a blast, and I didn't think I would enjoy it. But
Yeah.
it is. It's a fun. It's more fun being at the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're watching the World Cup, and then I'm gonna be jumping up and down and cheering every time. I think that's one of the things that makes soccer so entertaining. In basketball, every 30 seconds somebody's scoring a basket. And so it's like, oh yeah, we got. In soccer, it doesn't happen very often. You might have a game where it's 1-0, so there's one goal the entire time. That's why it's so important, and that's why they go goal.
Yeah,
because it's rare to happen.
Yeah, and that's you talk about the passion. The Europeans and the South Americans, they love the game. It doesn't matter if it's only 1-0. Of course, everybody wants 5-4 or 3-2, but it don't happen often. But there's a lot more going on than just the goals. The tackling, the passing. You have to have the passion to really feel it, just like you do for NFL. We have it for soccer.
I will say it is 10-0 every time that I play on FIFA. So
You get beat that bad?
No, it's me.
Oh, the other way
I'm
around.
the one scoring. I'm like, man, it's like, and it's so funny because they're like, it's a rare feat. Like the announcers, it's a rare feat getting the hat trick, and it's like I get one every game.
Yeah.
I've had a few of them in my career.
Hat tricks.
Yeah,
It's a big deal, right?
Oh yeah,
What is a hat trick?
3 goals, scored in 3
One
goals.
by one person?
Yeah.
By you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's hard to do, right?
I imagine.
it is. I mean, it doesn't happen often, but if you score a hat trick in a game, especially at the professional level, you're good. You're one of the top players.
Wow.
Yeah. So my players are pretty good. My FIFA team.
Your fingers? You mean your fingers?
My
Ian?
fingers are really good. I don't know why the goalie jumps the other way when I kick it the other way, but I mean that's just a computer issue, not my issue, right?
Yeah.
I play on rookie level.
Yeah.
But,
So if there was the second most important player on the team, I guess you're your person who's trying to score the goals, but I would say is it the goalie? I mean, that's your defender, your defense.
Yeah, I mean, every position has its own, it's important. But the goalie, it's the toughest place to be on the field because you don't always get the glory. You know what I mean? If you make 10 great saves in a game and then you mess up one time,
You get blamed.
you get blamed. You're the last line of defense, So it's a tough position to play, the goalie. We're blessed. We have two really good goalkeepers, Raymond and Brandon. So, we're good in that department. We need to bring in another striker and a couple of wingers and a central defender. So we need to bring in 4 or 5 more players, get ready for the next game.
Wow.
And I'm looking at that. We're trained tonight. So we have 4 or 5 new guys coming out. So
you mentioned that the 14-year-old, are they actually playing on the team, or are you just doing individual training?
No, I am doing individual training with him, but he actually got to play the whole game, the last game, because like I said, we only had 11 players.
And it's a League City guy. Like, it's people in our community.
He's from the area. He's only 14 years old, Noah, and great kid. His dad brings him out for one-on-one training. And, he does well. I mean, he's done well. He did really well on Saturday for the team.
Is he still able to play in high school?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
As well? Okay.
Yeah.
So he can still do, any clubs and then playing, That's cool.
Yeah.
Man, that has to be a great way to improve in a short amount of time when you're playing with people who may be older than you.
Yeah, and he is. He's improved so much over the last 6 weeks. It's unreal.
Soccer, I've seen them sign people who are, 14, maybe even as young as 12 years old.
Yeah, they do. I mean, clubs, if you haven't got signed by one of the clubs back home, like say in the English Premier League, by 12, you've slipped through the cracks.
Really?
It's crazy when you think about it. They're signing kids at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like Chelsea, Manchester United, Celtic.
Wow.
Arsenal.
Yeah. So there probably are some people who have slipped through the cracks who maybe have what it takes, but it's just they didn't get spotted or scouted
Exactly.
Wow. And then what they can do is have an opportunity to come try it with you and be like, wow, they do have what it takes to be at the next level.
Yeah, and we do get a lot of players, international players come over. I've had international players, I've had players from India come over, stay with me. I have to house them. From Scotland, from Ireland, from England. So, yeah, that's another thing we do is take in international players.
Wow. Is there a place in the world where, they have, for whatever reason, just some of the best players? That's just where they come from.
Brazil.
From Brazil.
Yeah. I mean, the Brazilians just, they've won the most World Cups.
Why is that?
They seem to produce the most players. It's all they do. It's football. I mean, I don't know what other sports they have in Brazil, but it seems like football they love it. The South Americans.
Well, and they win. So, when it's kind of that effect with the women's national soccer team here in the United States in the 1990s, 1999 when they won the World Cup and they had that infamous win, a lot of people who were young were like, man, I want to try soccer. I want to give soccer a try. And that's what happens in Brazil. They win almost every World Cup, or they're in the running to win the World Cup. And so then the kids hey, I want to be like that. I want to be like Mike.
Yeah, that makes sense. Be like
Mike.
Mike.
They do seem to produce the best players. And all the Brazilian best players play in Europe. They're playing Real Madrid, Barcelona, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Here's a comment. This is from Francis Kelly. They said, "Why NWA? Here we go, 10 in a row." What is that from?
Well, the Celts have won 8 in a row. They've won the league 8 times in a row back home, and they've also done the triple. So you have the domestic league and 2 cups, and they've won that the last 3 years. But they've more importantly won 8 in a row, and the reason why it's so important is we've done 9 in a row before, and when I say so of them, everybody will know what I'm talking about. It's the Rangers, but we were the first one to do it. But nobody has ever done 10 in a row. So if we can get 2 more, which we will. Celtic will have done the 10 in a row. Hail, hail, by the way.
So that's history happening right now.
It is, and they will do it. Celtic is definitely the best team. They'll definitely win it again this year and next year and the year after and the year after.
I like that. I like it. All right. Hey, is there anything else you'd like to share? Remind people we're just about out of time.
I'll give them the contacts for their websites and their emails and my phone number if that's good. So it's CelticFCAmerica.com. The email is CelticFCAmerica@gmail.com. And my phone number is 832-748-1001. And that's, if they want one-on-one lessons, just come see the games, how to get tickets, all that good stuff. It's
awesome.
all on social media, so they can, get us there.
Yeah, if you're watching right now, you can still share this video out. Let all your friends share it in some groups. They'll go back and be able to watch this and learn about professional soccer right here in League City, Texas. Big things happening with Brandon Keys.
And I want to say like we need to do more with you guys because I feel like I love sports. I love soccer. I know Gardy loves sports, and we need to do more with y'all.
Hey, that'd be great. You know who you look like?
Who?
You know you get it all the time, right?
Who?
The baseball player for the Astros.
Which one?
Juve, is that his name?
Altuve?
Altuve.
I got that.
Because the way he's holding the bat. You know,
But he does look like him a little bit.
He started the show like that, and it was kind of concerning. Like I was scared that he was going to take me out,
smash him.
smash the camera, smash me, something.
Dude, I like that. I'll take it. I ran into him. Well, I didn't bug him, but like just at the Galleria in Houston, and he's just like inconspicuously walking around because he just looks like a normal guy.
Yeah.
Just like walking around, I was like,
What a player, though.
yeah, dude, he's a monster.
Beast, yeah.
So, hey, this has been Kickstart. Feel free to share this out if you haven't liked KHEA Radio yet. Maybe you want us to do some more soccer, talk about Celtic FC America. Let us know. Send us a comment, send us a message. Say, yeah, do some more with these guys. Make sure you like KHEA Radio. Download the KHEA Radio app.
I saw a bunch of people say, hey, we need to live stream those games. So we'll see.
See what we can do. This is KHEA 99.5 FM.
All right, bye, Facebook. Sorry for all the issues.
Sorry, network.
We'll get it fixed by tomorrow. We promise. We love you guys. Have a good one.
Bye.